loud, am I?
No.
Good.
Why do we have that mic on?
We're not live yet. We're not live yet. They'll tell us.
Hey, tell them we're live.
We're
live, guys. We're live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another great fall of Lassiter Trojan football here live from the Frank. I am your host, Blake Newsom, bringing you yet another fall here at the Frank, full of some Lassiter Trojan action. Joined by a special guest, a new color commentator this year. Former, your brother, of course, graduated here last year along with me in class of 2022. Introducing our new, my new analyst here, Reese English, class of 2023. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited. I'm really excited for this. This is the first time for me, and I've heard a lot from you last year. And
Absolutely.
I'm super excited this year.
And of course, I'm glad to be back. Special thanks to Coach Tome, Coach Kelly, everybody involved here. Of course, Mr. Boylan, our AV director, and everybody downstairs helping us bring back another great year of Lassiter Trojan football here live on NFHS. And yeah, let's go ahead and start jumping into it if you want. Of course, previewing tonight, we're playing the Etowah Eagles out in Woodstock. A team that 1-9 last year in the 7A play, 1-6 in the region. Their lone win being over Woodstock. I think we looked that up correctly. So, of course, you would think Lassiter would be favored to win this game after last year was actually one of the better ones in recent memory. You know, we went 4-6, 4-4 in region, had a win-and-in opportunity at the end of the year with Kel. I know you and I were both here and had a disappointing end to the season, but Of course, you're still a student here. I'm not. You gotta give me the information. What are you more excited about for this fall?
Honestly, I'm really excited to see Ethan McKinney out here, number 70. He's playing left tackle, I believe. And I don't know if he's going to play this game, but if he does, I'm super excited to see him. I'm definitely excited to see the Georgia State commit, 3-star Bryson Harrison,
Absolutely,
number 8. Yeah.
of course. And he was a huge transfer, of course, coming over his junior year. Now, of course, being a senior, excuse me. And he's played a huge impact on bringing back the Lassiter Trojan program.
For sure.
And actually, we're going to be right back after this break, a presentation of the colors, and we'll be right back on the side of it for kickoff, starting to line up some more. Live from the Frank, it's Blake and Reese. Welcome back into the Frank here. We're about 7.5 minutes away from kickoff here between the Lassiter Trojans and the Etowah Eagles. So let's get back to it here after a great presentation of the colors there by both high school marching bands playing here on the opening week. And sorry for the telecast if it has a little bit of a wind playback. We're not in the booth, for anybody wondering. We're out in the open, and if there's a little bit of wind feedback, we'll try to keep that to a minimum and try to give you guys the best quality broadcast tonight. But if not, we have our apologies here at LNN. So continuing on, Reese. This team went 4-6 last year. The big loss at the end of the year, Kel. I think the big issue was, Bryson Harrison not eligible to play in that game because of injury, and he's back and healthy this year, so I don't think that will be a issue that the Trojans have to deal with. But of course, this team was so close to the playoffs last year; they could smell it. Yeah. And you got to think that this is a senior-led team. There's a lot of upperclassmen playing a lot of the skill positions here this year, and you think this team probably has a good shot at making a run for region.
I believe so. I'm really excited to see what they can put together. Coach Tome, he's head coaching this offense and defense, and Bryson at quarterback, our running back Jaheim split with Sam Gadsden. They're both going to be running that offense along with the passing game from Bryson Harrison to Ricardo, and I believe who else was on there?
Well, I know, of course, Joe Blackwell played a huge effort on the defensive side last year. Went up against a couple Ohio State wide receiver commits last year and handled them pretty well. Of course, the senior this year, the two-sport athlete, I know he also plays for the baseball club in the spring under Coach Restay, and I think he's excited to get underway just like anybody. So, of course, you mentioned earlier the quarterback, Bryson Harrison, committing to Georgia State. How exciting do you think that is for him?
I think that's amazing. I mean, guy from Lassiter, right? I mean, he's rocking it out here, and that tape shows it. I mean, he just committed to Georgia State this offseason, and, I'm just excited to see how well he does there in his college career.
Another former Lassiter Trojan quarterback I want to shout out. This is from our middle school days. You probably remember the name Bradley Riopel, and if you don't, that's okay. He was actually baseball commit, but he played the varsity quarterback position here at Lassiter. People probably remember him. Committed to Coastal Carolina right after they had won their national championship, and now he's a Florida Gator fan. It was exciting to see him play catcher for the Gators last year in baseball. So there's Lassiter Trojans everywhere. Of course, this is a great program school. Of course, the marching band shows that we have a lot of great spring sports,
sure.
and I think football's trying to get back in that rhythm as well.
Yeah.
And they have a great chance to start that tonight, right? So, continuing to count down to kickoff. We got about 5 minutes. I think we're awaiting the Trojans to come through. They're the banner led by the color guard and the cheerleaders and everyone associated along with that. So,
And
Reese.
speaking of last year, we won a couple states, not only in soccer, we won girls and boys. We also won in swim and softball.
exactly, yeah. So it was a great year for spring
Yeah.
sports. Of course, I know baseball was in the semifinals. The year before that, they were in the finals at Truist.
Dang.
So this sports program is back on the rise. I know it's been a couple rough years here over on Shallowford Road, but things are turning up.
Yeah.
And I believe after we're probably both done and graduated, this program will be right back to
Taking
where
off.
it was. So, yeah, I mean, give me your keys to the game tonight. As we see Cullen English, Reese's brother, of course, receiver last year, giving him some advice. So good to hear from him. Hopefully they call a great game tonight. So give me your keys to the game if you don't mind.
You know, I'm looking to see how well the defense plays. I mean, last year we were a little shaky in and out, so I really want to see some steps from these former juniors, especially the ones that I'm closest with. I know for sure that I think we're going to be having Luke and Joe, and I believe Parker, right? They're going to be playing both sides.
Oh, yeah.
So looking forward to see how well they play and how energized they stay throughout the whole entire game.
Speaking of Luke, and I have a funny story to tell about him later in the evening. We mentioned it earlier off here. He committed as well to Navy, correct?
I believe Navy, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a great program and a great opportunity for him. I had a couple classes with him over the years. Of course, you probably know him better than I do, but at the Falcons game earlier this year, I got a funny story to tell later in the game about Luke O'Malley had a story with the whole presentation down at the Bend.
Yeah.
So for the viewers that want to hear that story, stick around later throughout the presentation of the game. But yeah, I think we're just getting ready to get underway here as we continue to count down. They're introducing some of the captains tonight. Of course, let's give a shout out to, of course, the junior receiver, Shaw Mixon. Of course, going by the number 3, but tonight the Lutzy player of the game. So getting to wear that number 43 jersey, how special is that for him?
I think that's amazing. He's a junior, so no seniors on that number, but it's so crazy to see him. I've grown up with him the past few years, going to Lassiter with him, so I've got to see how he's grown up, and I'm excited to see. I don't think I've seen him play varsity football, so I'm really hoping that he does well, taking that big step.
And we're waiting for our broadcast to show the cameras that we have in action as the Lassiter team has come out of the tunnel. They're walking onto the track now, heading over towards the back end of the end zone behind the goalpost to come run out. I mean, let's be honest, everybody can see them.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're not as hidden as they think, but we'll let them be in the zone, kind of like you had to tell your family about 10 minutes ago. Of course.
We got to stay locked.
Yeah, your mother came over and tried to distract you and Cullen, and you were like, "Well, we're locked. We're trying to get ready for this broadcast." And a lot of boos coming over from the Etowah sideline. Of course, the Trojans getting ready to come out to the field. We also have a new PA announcer this year, as everybody can hear in the background. I'll try to get his name throughout some point in the broadcast, but shout out. It's a lot of turnover here in this Lassiter program, but I feel like it might be for the better, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah. It'll take some time getting used to, but
still
we'll
the same program,
we'll get it.
though,
Oh,
right?
for sure, yeah.
So, everybody huddling out behind
the banner. We got some new Trojan people this year. The former.
If we need to zoom out, who can I talk to? Perfect. I might just.
The former Ethan Hollinger, excuse me. He was a Trojan man, and the former senior Ella Morris was the Trojan female. And this year we got some new guys. His name is Ryan Tanisi and Kendall Bice. They are the new Trojan female and male. They will not be dressing out this first game because of some technical difficulties there. And on the field, looks like we have a former middle school player, Colin Stravinskis, also running a letter out, I assume. But yeah, super excited to be here. And Etowah actually is running onto the field right now. So
here come the Eagles, as you said. We're waiting for the home squad. We're counting down. The kickoff countdown is actually complete up on the Jumbotron. We got a whole 12-minute clock set. And here come the Trojans.
Get on your feet, because here comes
led by Coach Tome in his third season here in the program.
super excited this year.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
And nothing like Friday nights here, especially in the state of Georgia. I believe we have one of the best football states in the nation, one of the more talented ones. And what better place to be than here at the Frank on a Friday evening. A little bit of chilliness. I didn't bring a hoodie. I don't know if you did either. Hopefully this wind dies down a little bit. But either way, hopefully the football adrenaline will get everybody warmed up. Yeah. And so let's make another shout out here for the pregame. Let's talk about the Lassiter special teams. Everybody has come back on that regard. You know, long snapper, holder, kick returner, and of course the kicker and the punter have all returned. Drew Campbell, who we have a special story to tell later in the broadcast as well, will probably have a big impact on tonight's game. The senior kicker, of course, had the big game-winning kick against Sprayberry last year, and he's back for his senior season. We see him warming up out of view on the camera, but everybody ready to go.
Trojans are receiving.
Yep, so the Trojans look like they elected to receive, so Etowah will defer to the second half.
He's a lefty.
It's Carson Allen, the senior lefty, as you mentioned, Reese, kicking off for the Eagles, and they have shipping up to Boston. Wicked Smart playing behind us here as we get ready for another season of Lassiter Trojan football. Carson Allen to do the odds. And we are underway from the Frank here tonight. And it'll go back through the end zone for a touchback, and it'll bring Bryson Harrison.
This Trojan offense.
Out to the 20-25 yard line. So here we go. If you have any nerves and goosebumps, you got to get rid of them by now. It's showtime. It's put up or shut up.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see what the Lassiter offense does here to start. So here they are going from right to left from the camera point of view. I would say east-west zone, west end zone, but I'm not absolutely sure on those measurements, so we'll stick with what we know. And you already have the student section getting into it here.
It's looking good this year.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that about 28 minutes ago. You said that you would hope more people would show up, and it looks like the weather kind of maybe people will wait till the last minute, but the stands are packed out here, and they're continuing to fill here.
Oh, yeah.
But we're ready. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Harrison under center. They're going to hand it off up the gut for a couple of yards, trying to figure out.
I believe that was Sam Gadsden.
And yeah, you're correct. That was Samuel Gadsden. Of course, both running backs have come back this year, the seniors. Jaheim Murray, who played the starting position last year. Gadsden played a little bit more of the change of pace. Jaheim's playing defensive back this year as well, so they've given Samuel Gadsden the nod at the starting position.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll see both of them throughout the night. And that was Samuel Gadsden there to start it off. It'll be second down. It looks like about 7.
We got trips to the left.
Harrison under shotgun. Looks like Gadsden remaining behind him. Play clock running down. There's a snap. Handoff to Gadsden again. Lassiter trying to get the pace started early, and not much to get there.
Good group of Eagles on that tackle. I mean, they're all just slamming that middle.
And that's another point I want to bring up is we try to prep for everybody on this broadcast. Only issue is Etowah didn't have their full rosters available, so we apologize to anybody's families who may be listening or somebody that we pronounced miscorrectly. The whole roster wasn't up there, so we got what we could, but we'll stick to what we know, and we'll do our best from there. So our apologies once again for any Etowah misinformation, but we'll correct ourselves and probably learn throughout the ballgame. 3rd and 7 here. Harrison rolling out under shotgun, looking to the right. There's a flag down. He's going to toss this one deep, and that's going to be caught.
Shaw Mixon right there. Big pass to 50. What a great catch. I mean, on the right sideline, it looked like there was a flag thrown back towards the backfield. It might have been a holding call.
Which is something that Lassiter struggled with last year.
Yeah.
The holding and the false starts had a lot of
setbacks.
It had this offense going backwards too often. A big play was just erased. You would have had your ball on the opponent's side of the 50, and just like that, it's going to be about 3rd and 17. So something you don't want to see here the first drive of the year.
No, we were building something there. I mean, that pass would have got so much energy towards our side, but.
And you wonder if somebody like Ethan McKinney, of course we hope he's healthy as soon as possible, you wonder if he's on the line that play, if something doesn't break down like that, the senior
for sure
that he is and the experience he has. But I'm sure he's still going to be helping his guys out as much as he can on the sideline. But we'll go from there. Be about 3rd and 17 from inside the 10-yard line. Harrison with 4 lined up to his right, 1 on the top of your screen. He's going to throw that screen pass.
Luke O'Malley, incomplete to the right side. I mean, he wasn't even looking. I don't know what their plan was. It must have been some miscommunication from the coordination or
looks like they had
receivers.
It looks like they had some sort of comeback or curl route lined up there, and maybe Luke was trying to go further to the sticks than Harrison had expected.
Yeah, and that flag set us back a lot that first drive. I mean, if we made that completion, we would have been up on their side of the field. But speaking of last year, I do remember the big setback that we had was John Vineyard.
Yes.
He was injured.
Yes.
And that definitely did not helped us. It helps. Never helped us. It was just bad.
Rugby-style punt there by James Hungerbuehler. Caught by number 10 on the Etowah side. And we'll take a break here, 10:20 remaining here in the first period. As we get started here in the 2023 season, Etowah will actually have the ball on the Lassiter 42, 43-yard line when we get back. So we'll be right back here from the Frank. Etowah takes the field. Now let out by the Etowah offense. Let's make a spotlight on their quarterback, junior Jack Strickland, which funny enough, there's somebody on the Lassiter team with the exact same name of that senior receiver. So you'll hear a lot of that name in general being called tonight. They're going to hand the ball up the gut for a couple yards.
Looked like the 38-yard line by number 13.
Looks like that might be Reese Ware, the junior. Apologies once again if we're incorrect. Waiting on our graphics department to have the whole score bug up for the audiences to help everybody out. As of right now, it looks like it's second and about 5. Play action. They're going to go to the rollout, and once again, tackle it at the second level.
By Joe Blackwell, and I believe number 23, Will Davidson right there.
2 of the starters there.
Oh, yeah.
The first tackle, I'm sure you would see many out of those 2 this year. Joe Blackwell playing the secondary, and Will Davidson in the linebacker core.
Yeah, I actually have a couple of these Trojans in my first period. Will Davidson, Luke O'Malley, and Drew Campbell.
Oh, look at you. Third down, up the gut goes Reese. Not the one I'm joined with the booth, but looks like that's going to move the chains.
Yeah, that was a nice spin move by Reese right there, right up the gut, and got them to move the chains on that third down.
And that's a backbreaker to the Trojan defense.
Unfortunate, just missed tackles, but it was a good spin move. Got trips to the right here.
I'm trying to see the quarterback, number 16, I believe. Up the gut. Once again, and taken down after about a 4-yard gain. That's actually the sophomore who looks like he's going to be on special Wildcat packages, Xavier Mahoney. Of course, we saw Jack Strickland at the beginning of last series, but it looks like Xavier might be taking some snaps again here tonight for the Eagles.
Yeah. Got second down, middle of the chains. So
once again, they got trips lined out to the right. Xavier remaining out there. They snap it, and there's going to be a flag. False start on the Etowah Eagles, and then I'll back them up 5 yards. So that'll make it second down and about 10, right back to where they started. Basically an incomplete pass.
I like their rotation of the quarterback. I think it's a cool scheme. It looks like 16 is going to be doing a lot of the running, and then who was it? Jack Strickland, number 8, is going to do more of the passing. Yeah. So it'll be easier or harder to read depending on how the defense wants to read it, but they could do something with that.
Which you hope for Lassiter's case that it's a little bit easier throughout the game. It is week 1, so there's not a lot of film on anybody. And clearly they're still trying to figure out their quarterback situation. As here's Mahoney once again moving to the outside, another flag, but as of right now, a first down scramble for Mahoney.
That flag was in the backfield on a 33, I believe. And I did see what I thought would be a holding call on that edge.
We'll see what the call is. Waiting on the main official.
That's a good game by the quarterback there.
Offensive line having some issues here early on both sides of the ball, and it will be a holding call.
Yes.
Audience supposed to hear us, not them. So. Yeah, keep them down pretty low except for when we're off there.
Now the themes for the Trojans were the Hawaiian theme, and
Yes.
looks like over there
But
the
you got your
neon
luau
theme.
stuff on too,
Oh
don't you?
yeah, I'm
Still
ready. I was
still
ready.
a student at heart, right?
Yeah.
I showed up in basically Braves gear, so go from there. Shout out to the Braves tonight, World Series rematch with the Astros. I know we'll be missing a lot of that action tonight, but who would not want to be here? So
Being here for the Trojans is everything.
it's about 2nd and 20 here. Looks like Jack Strickland is back into the ball game for the Etowah Eagles. 2 lined up on each side. They're going to fake the run over the deep sideline, and that's going to be knocked away.
Wow, what a
Jaheim
time
Murray.
jump by Jaheim Murray, number 5. That was actually a pretty good pass. I don't know what happened, but Jaheim got there. I mean, without even looking at the ball, he went up there and stopped it. It was great. Perfect
Looks
timing.
like it was slightly underthrown, and the wind might have interfered with that ball on the way down. But either way, a great stop by Jaheim Murray, his first action he's seen tonight.
Yeah, it was some great protection by this offensive line. I mean, we're running a 3-4, I believe, and we're not getting through.
Only 3 on the D-line, the nose tackle and the 2 edges. So it's 3rd and 22 from the Lassiter 43. You want to make sure they get no yardage here. You don't want to let them have a shot at field goal territory. So this would be a big advantage here if they can get the stop. Here's Strickland rolling up into the pocket, looking right down the field, and that's going to be intercepted!
Picked off by number 24. Parker Hungerbuehler.
Parker Hungerbuehler, the senior, your buddy.
Oh, yeah.
With the interception. There was a lot of red shirts in the area, and Parker was able to get the
pick.
ball in that deflection. There is a flag on the
Yeah.
play, and we wonder what this call could be.
Let's figure out what's going on with the flag, ladies and gentlemen.
If this call were to stand,
Trojans get the ball, I believe, around the 30-yard line.
yeah, which that was a huge stop there by Lassiter.
It was a roughing the passer.
Oh.
Unfortunate.
So scratch the interception to Parker. And Lassiter, which had worked so hard there to get Etowah back behind the chains at a field goal range, is now going to have to come up and get their 3rd stop
It's going to be a first down
of the drive.
28-yard line.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 28. Thanks to our PA for helping us out.
Lassiter touchdown. We'd like to recognize some of our sponsors.
7:53 remaining here in the first period. Quarter, whatever you want to look at it. And it will be Jack Strickland in the game with Reese behind him at the running back position. And they're going to quickly throw it over the middle to number 25 for about a 9-yard gain.
Number 25, pickup of 7 on the play. It's going to take them down to the 21-yard line.
Can't quite figure out who their main receiver is. Looks like they spread the ball pretty well.
Tackled by number 5.
Which, yeah, as I say again, we don't have the full Etowah roster at our disposal here. So people we know, we'll call them correctly, and the people we don't, our apologies. We'll try to figure it out as the game goes along.
It is a 2nd and short. They are on the left hash.
Yeah. So, yeah, 2nd and inches here. See if they hand the ball right up the gut, which they do to Reese Ware, who's going to get wrapped up in the backfield. Great tackle there.
Tackled by number 19. Griffin Mack and number 21.
Griffin Mack, who's splitting snaps at the tight end and the edge position here. So one of the Iron Men here in tonight's action, which will bring up another 3rd down.
5 to go.
Call it 3rd and 5 here. Under 7 to play here in the opening period.
Long course.
They're on the Lassiter News Network.
Now they got that number 16 in there.
Yep, which is Xavier Mahoney, the sophomore. You got 5 wide. You wonder if this is a QB scramble here. It looks like it was a design that way, and Xavier is still rolling out over the back of the end zone and incomplete.
Looked like they tried to pull some Lassiter Trojans from last year.
Yeah.
My brother, he was number 17 last year,
Yep.
and they pulled that off a couple times with him.
Him and Danny Curran
Yeah.
had a lot of the double pass,
Yeah.
which a lot of them ended up in either huge plays or touchdowns. So, of course, that Kell game, that kind of it seemed like they had game planned it for a little bit at that point. But, yeah, there was a couple big plays where either Evan Scher or, of course, Danny was kind of throwing dimes to your brother there, and it led for a couple touchdowns there. Of course, a lot of the Lassiter receiver room graduated. Cullen, of course. Danny Curran, Parker Helmley, and others. So
Yes.
new people deciding to step in. So here is the kicker, the lefty Carson Allen. Here's a senior, and the kick from about
Kicks up.
47 yards is good.
He's got a little
What
bit
a
of a leg.
boot there from the lefty, yeah, and Carson Allen puts it through. And it is 3-0 Etowah here. with 6:29 remaining here in the opening period. So we'll take a break. Lassiter has a couple hard chances to get off the field. They cannot do so. Penalties cost him. We'll be right back here with the Trojan offense coming out for their second drive. Down a field goal. Back to the Frank here, Reese and Blake here, 6:29 remaining here in the opening period. Trojans down a field goal, opening drive, spanning about 15 yards for Etowah in field goal range. And Carson Allen, who just kicked it through the uprights, looking to kick this one through the end zone once again. And it is up and away into the sky. That's going to be, once again, a touchback. And that'll bring out Bryson Harrison once again. What do you think the Lassiter offense is looking to do differently this time around?
I'm hoping they do pass the ball, maybe starting off with a pass, but hopefully we can spread that ball. Oh, it looks like we're doing a re-kick.
Oddly enough.
I did like that running up the middle with Sam. We could rotate, maybe switch Sam and Jaheim, but it did work a little bit there. And then we made that pass, which I guess confused them because maybe they were looking for a run again, but it worked. So
Jaheim, of course, had that big deflection last drive, which fortunate for him and Parker, of course, on the interception that they did not stay on, but more chances throughout the year to make up for those stats. So once again, Carson Allen, who's been busy tonight with a couple re-kicks, of course the field goal, and the opening kickoff, continuing to make his stamp on the action here, will retry the kick from the 35. Jack Strickland and Joseph Blackwell still back to receive. Ball is up in the air on a line drive, and that's going to be handled and called a touchback either way.
Oh, we have another flag on the field, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we may back this up another 5 yards.
Talk about week one jitters.
Gosh.
Have a third opportunity at this. You see the holder, Carson Allen, on our screen. He's pushing the tee back with frustration there, like, already had 2 touchbacks. How much more do you want out of me? Clearly they want a third.
You think he's going to kick this one out of the end zone?
If he does it at the same angle, possibly, but it seems like they didn't like the angle that he kicked it at there.
No.
The Trojan House sponsor tonight was the Longhorn Steakhouse. If you guys
So now from the 30-yard line,
grab a wonderful steak.
with 6:29 still remaining for those keeping track at home. There's our score bug. Still 3-0 Etowah here, week one. Carson Allen to do the duties once again, and the third try seems to be the charm as of right now. Taken around the 5-yard line with some space up to the 30 and taken down. Jack Strickland there on the return. That was Palmer Bowling's number last year.
Yeah.
So
Interesting to see a skill guy wearing that number.
Oh yeah.
I've always liked 4. I wore 4 around like the 3rd and 4th grade when I was playing. Back
Really?
for Woodstock, actually.
Ah.
Yeah.
Etowah, of course, in that same neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
So
Right down the road, maybe half a mile from each other.
kind of like how we are with Pope and
Sprayberry,
Walton.
too.
Everybody's kind of in this vicinity. Wheeler, Marietta, they're not far away either.
No.
So Roswell, Blessed Trinity, you got them just up the road. It's a big school area here in Cobb County. Harrison on the keeper. 1st and 10 is going to get about 6 or 7 yards. Still rumbling in the pile.
Good stuff to see Ryson running to the right side. I mean, that's a scheduled play.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 1 from the 39-yard line.
Good blocking by those receivers, too. It's good to see Colin bringing that down.
The 2nd and 1 here still remaining under shotgun is Harrison. Quick throw to the right side. There's Gatson out of the backfield, and he's got a first down and more out of the 45. Coach Tome loving that.
Oh, yeah.
See
Quick
him
passes.
on the edge of our camera angle there.
Looked like we had an empty backfield with trips to the right, and
Look
Sam
at you
Gatson.
knowing all the formations. I love that. I love that, honestly.
I mean, I played for a little bit, so I got a little bit inside of me, but
I play Madden. Let's put it that way.
yeah, that's pretty good too. I mean, that's how you learn formations along with playing. So.
Yeah.
But there is a flag on the 36 on the Etowah sideline.
Coach Tome's reaction on the bottom of your screen. Maybe this one will be once again going the wrong way.
I'm pretty sure that's an illegal man downfield.
Illegal shift looks like it's going to be. He's going to back us up 5 yards.
So yeah, it was a legal shift there.
Down and 6.
So of course with
Approaching the 33-yard
Bryson Harrison's good first down run, they're still set up in second and medium here. 2nd and 6 now instead of the first down across the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 6. Gatson to his right out on the sideline, and that's going to be dropped by Jack Strickland.
pass is incomplete to number 4. It's going to bring a third down and 6.
Of course, Jack Strickland also a two-sport athlete, right? I believe he does something in the spring, if you're not sure.
Oh, he runs track. That's what he does, yeah. I am excited to see this offensive line. You got a couple seniors on there. JP, who was a freshman last year starting for the Trojans. And we got Alejandro and ADP and also Jarrell on that starting lineup, who are all seniors.
I think you can expect this team to have a lot of running success this year. A very upperclassman-led line. And 2 senior running backs, of course. Harrison also eligible to keep the football as he does there, rumbling forward for a couple of yards. And that's going to bring up 4th down and about 2, and Lassiter is more than likely going to have to punt it away. But
they are going quick. I think they're going to run this.
You like the aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Harrison at 4th and about 2.5. Maybe they're trying to jump him off on a hard count. Play clock just starting at 30. 5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. 3-0. They're going to send Sean Mixon on the motion. Etowah is still not jumping, and it looks like they might eventually decide to take the penalty and punt this ball away. Coordinators behind us still talking in Harrison's ear. 6 seconds and 5, 4, 3. 4th and 2, they're going to hand this one up the middle to Samuel Gatson, who's got the first down.
Looked like he kept that ball. I thought it was a Sam too, and he was out there blocking.
Yeah, the camera switch on our end made it maybe look a little bit harder to tell, so.
It's a first down for the Trojans.
Yeah, first time tonight for everybody here on Lassiter News Network, for at least a lot of us. So
going quick.
Harrison taking it off once again, getting a couple yards over to the Etowah sideline. Says hello to a couple Eagles on the way out.
I like this quick offense. It really pushes the defense back. I mean, they're going to be on their toes because it's the start of the season. So, but they look like they're getting gassed, trying to get play calls from the Etowah sideline. But looks like we're handling it well.
So 3-0, 4:19 in to go.
Number 9, Luke O'Malley running off the sideline.
Love that. Let's see. 12 on the play clock here. Ball underway. Hand off to Gatson once again, who's got some space and working his way for another first down as Gatson out across the 47-yard line.
I'm liking this shotgun pistol formation. It's working. Seeing the play fakes and the handoffs down the middle.
And you saw this a lot last year where they used a primary back for the first half. It looks like Shaheem Murray took a lot of the first down carries last year. Gatson would kind of come in and burst through holes in the second. Maybe we'll see if there's something similar to that in the second half. People down in the broadcast room hard at work, shown by that screenshot there. Harrison at 1st and 10. 3 on the play clock, and they're going to have to call a timeout. Didn't want to risk another 5-yard penalty there, and we'll take it with them. 3:45 remaining here in the opening quarter. 3-0 Etowah, but Lassiter slowly driving down the field. We'll be right back from the Frank. Welcome back to the Frank here, 3:45. Lassiter, of course, just recently taking the timeout, so they only have 2 remaining here.
The thing I like about this current technology we've got, we can run these tents with these TVs on the sideline. That's just introduced a couple years ago. So when the defense is off, they're studying what they did wrong as they get to run back on the field next drive, which is just awesome.
It's kind of how it works, right? When the offense is done, the defense usually takes their turn on the field, right?
Yeah.
So, I think that's what they've been doing for a while here in the
betting on special teams.
Yeah.
I mean,
true. Can't forget about those guys. So
I do like the energy from both sides.
Yeah. They're hoping to put some points up on the boards here soon. 1st and 10, Harrison. Looking short to Sean Mixon, who's got it, and some space here, and that's going to be close to another first down. That's, of course, the Lutzy man of the night, Sean Mixon, the junior.
The Eagles number 18. It's going to be a pickup.
That's going to be about
10 on the play.
10 on the play, and they're going to move the chains.
Another Piedmont Church. First down.
So now Lassiter on the Etowah 36-yard line. 3:35 and counting here. 3:37 officially. Harrison with the handoff here to Gatson, and Gatson looks like he might have taken the wrong hole, and he's going to get swallowed in the backfield.
Yeah, a couple Eagles in the backfield right there. Looked like some blocking might have folded, but
yeah,
he had to rush to the sideline. It looked like they were trying to build a hole, and then he bounced to the outside, and I mean those receivers just couldn't hold those blocks. But that's just unfortunate.
See Griffin Mack coming back in on the tight end position here. Luke O'Malley on the way out. Nixon staying in there is Strickland on the top of your screen. Gatson, of course, remaining the running back behind Bryson. So it's what, 2nd and about 12 or 13 here. Under 3 minutes to go here in the opening period. Harrison rolling to the right. Looking down the field, and that's going to be over the head of a jumping defender. Intended for Jack Strickland. And that was a near disaster.
Oh, yeah. Right through his hands.
So it'll be, looks like 3rd and 13 now. Looks like they're going to be intending a target to the tight end here, based on what we're hearing from the offensive coordinator behind us. So see how that comes to fruition. 2:48 on the game clock. It's 3rd and 13.
Growing up with some of these guys, it's awesome to see them on the field. I used to play with a lot of them back in middle school, so it's good to see them on the field.
How many here on average, as there's play clock running down, 4 or 3? I'll ask you that question here in a minute. Harrison on 3rd and 13. Low snap. Flags on the play. I wonder if there was a penalty on the line. We'll wait for the call.
That looked rough.
Yeah. Not what you want to see. We wonder if maybe an Etowah Eagle jump there, being that they were in the backfield so quickly. That's what you can hope for here if you're Lassiter. If not, you're kind of pushing yourselves, and they're going to decline the penalty, which is going to make it 4th down, which brings me to the question I was going to ask you, Reese. If Lassiter was able to get some yardage there, you would think they'd maybe give Drew Campbell a shot, but what do you think his distance is at this point?
I'm hoping for this kind of yards, but it looks like they're bringing on the punt team. But I'd say around the 35 is where he could shine the most.
So you think he's got 50 yards in him, huh?
From what I've heard from him, I think so.
Of course, it's been another year since he drained one from the 40-yard mark. So,
yeah.
Of course, the soccer player himself. So he's got a bit of a leg. James Hungerbuehler having to hustle the snap. And that's not what you want either.
No.
That was James Hungerbuehler, not Parker, the senior.
Yeah, that is Bradley. He goes by Bradley. Bradley
Hungerbuehler, okay. So, of course, on our prep sheet it was James, and now I know. And that's going to put Etowah right at the 30, call it the 40-yard line, about said 39, to start their drive. 2:32 remaining.
Went right through his hands.
It got to a point where he didn't want to kick it away, and you saw a couple of the known receivers out there saying, hey, throw it to me. But Bradley took it down and was able to get a couple of yards out of it, which you see a lot of cases where the defense has to start right here anyway, so maybe not the worst scenario. Back on the field is Strickland firing over the middle and dropped.
Right through his hands. He was just ready to turn and go.
That was too.
It's going to bring up second down and 10 from
Number 21.
Yeah, 21, which I'm looking for on our sheet, which we don't have recorded. So shout out 21. So 2:28 on the clock here. Opening period, second and 10. Etowah working from their own 40-yard line. Again, second and 10. Strickland over the middle and caught.
completed to number 25.
Seems like the Eagles are trying to match the energy of this quick offense, looking like they're going real speedy from the coordinators over on the sideline.
Play is going to bring up third down and 2.
So it will be a third down here, maybe a running scenario. I'm surprised they maybe didn't try to bring in Mahoney, Xavier, to try to throw the defense off.
Third down.
PA announcer letting everybody know across the state what down it is here.
Trying to get this energy up.
So it's third and short here. They brought in the tight end to block as raindrops are starting to fall. Up the gut is Reese Ware, and he's got the first down.
There was a Trojan in the backfield. Looks like he just missed his tackle right there.
It's going to bring up the first down from the Trojan 49-yard
Starting to sprinkle on us here outside, which is not a good look.
Some scores of interest from around.
We hope that there's not a delay.
Boswell leads Denmark 6-0. Sprayberries up on Campbell 13-0. Sponsored by the Atlanta Office Interiors.
First down, here's Strickland looking over the middle to the right side and caught.
Tiptoed by another catch by number 21 right there. I also want to give a shout out to the band and the cheerleaders here in the Trojans. Etowah also brought their cheerleaders along with their band
Big
to
student
this.
section here too.
Yeah,
They showed out. So you see some schools that'll come over here and not fill up the half of the away section, but it's packed almost to the top there by families, alumni, and student alike. Of course, the band up there as well. I mean, it's even piled over to where they have some people on the neon sidelines.
Yeah, those bleachers to the left.
Second down here. Strickland firing over the middle, and that's going to be caught right near the chains. We'll see if they give him forward progress or not.
Looks like they ran back-to-back twice, that slant and that out route on the left and right side.
Will Davidson on the tackle there, his second.
Eagles have first and 10.
So it'll move the chains here. It'll be first and 10 for the Eagles at the 39-yard line. We're just over a minute remaining in action, praying that the rain doesn't start falling. As an outside setup, this would not be ideal, of course, week one here in the 2022-2023 season. Lassiter in their red tops and helmets, gray bottoms. Etowah all white with their blue brim. Strickland awaiting the snap here. He's going to fire this one short.
Pass completed, number 20.
And a great tackle there by Parker Hungerbuehler.
It's good pursuit by him.
Drops him for a gain.
A little out route or a little flat on the left side to number 20, I believe. And he was there, ready for it.
Question for you.
Yeah,
Is Bradley and Parker, are they twins?
they are.
Are they identical?
Yeah, they are, I believe.
All right, so for everybody watching at home, we're going to have to take a quick break for our camera. Here we got last play of the first quarter. Again, with the rain starting to fall, Reese Ware, big gain. Yeah, inside of the red zone. So that's going to be it for the first quarter. We're going to have to move the camera, but we're going to continue on here for our audiences.
Eagles 3.
And we'll be right back. End of the first welcome back here, Lassiter News Network, live from the broadcast room here in the AV studios. Had to relocate due to pouring rain, which we're still, of course, waiting on. And during that process, we have missed 2 Lassiter touchdowns. So, of course, Bryson Harrison on the big QB keeper. And can you recap what just happened on the most recent score?
I believe we just saw Ricardo running down the field all the way into the end zone. I don't even know where they were from. I think they were in Etowah territory, and they brought it all the way to the touchdown. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how he does.
I want to make another point that we have 2 big screens to choose from as we're bringing you guys the broadcast from inside the AV studios here. Room 1102 in the Lassiter Halls.
Science building.
So we're awaiting the kickoff here. Let's see if we can get our prep all set back up. And looks like Drew Campbell will do the honors. Of course, 2 for 2 on extra points. And of course, last year was the freshman, now sophomore, Mark Keith, who handled the kickoff and punting duties. But it looks like they're trusting the guy with the biggest leg on the team, and that's Drew Campbell. So under 4 to play here in the first half. Of course, once again, sorry for all the inconveniences. We were told to move out of the way because of weather precautions, which of course we're still waiting on as we speak. That's going to be a touchback by Campbell, and Etowah will start at the 20-yard line. So let's see who they bring out here. If it's either going to be Mahoney or if it's going to be
Jack Strickland.
Which it's so weird not hearing the crowd sound.
No.
It's, we're in here in a dark
all
room,
alone,
quiet room. Yeah, it's a completely different environment here on the fly.
I definitely felt the energy out there compared to in here, but it's still nice to be able to see the game and speak on it.
For sure.
As we're getting a ref shot.
Look at him out there reffing. So it'll be Etowah football from the 20-yard line, we presume. Nice shot there on the center, number 58. It looks like it'll be Mahoney in there, of course, the scrambling running back. He's going to take off there for a couple of yards, and in and out of our picture, he weaves for a first down and more out to the 36-yard line. Etowah will move the chains.
A little shifty guy there.
Of course, maybe a good drive to try that change of pace. Not quite at the halftime 2-minute drill yet, but also you're down 2 scores. Strickland's arm not really playing off too well against the Lassiter secondary. Maybe they're going to put Mahoney, of course, the sophomore, Strickland being a junior. They're letting the underclassmen in there and see what work he can get done for the offense. He's going to take the snap once again, and it's going to hand it off to Reese Ware for a gain of about 2. Tackled down by a pack of Trojans.
Very similar offense that they run. They run trips and they run doubles, and then they also always do these play fakes, so then they just hand it up to the middle or to the left or right side. So it's good to see the Trojans on top of that here in the second quarter.
So it'll be second and I would say about 8 yards here. Mahoney remaining in the game. We're behind him. Here's the snap. Looking right, and a huge hit, and that's going to be about deflected and intercepted by Joe Blackwell. A huge hit after the play, letting him know who's boss. And it'll be third down. A ref coming up to talk to Joe.
Looked like a quick throw. He had some Trojans in the backfield.
Yeah, that was dangerous.
Yeah. He must have ran a bad route because Joe was on top of that.
Still waiting for our graphics to come back for everybody at home. It's about third and, say, about 8 yards. Nice shot of the student section there, live and having fun here on this opening week Friday night. We're waiting for Mahoney to get set. Here's the snap. He's going to throw a little screen over the middle to the running back, and trying to bring him down is, looks like that was 44 and 54 in pursuit for Lassiter, which was Noah O'Neill.
Yeah, they were blitzing on there. They had a couple guys on the line of scrimmage. It looked like, I think, 6 or 5 on there, getting to the backfield, almost hitting that pass in the backfield. But
yeah. So Noah O'Neill and Bryce Parker in combination for the tackle, and they're actually looking like they're going to be punting the ball away. So, of course, if there's no penalty here, it looks like Lassiter will be receiving the ball back with 2 minutes and change to work with here. Let that offense go out there one more time. Of course, Drew Campbell, as you spoke about, is a senior, a soccer player, as you said, has the range to hit it from about over 40 yards. So Lassiter with a couple good series is right in field goal range. That ball is going to dribble down inside the 35-yard line and finally touchdown by an Eagle around the 33. A replay
of the punt.
Of the blocking schemes there. And, yeah. Once again, our apologies for our off-the-air time and now for the studio switch up here. mid-game, we're doing what we can here, but the Trojans continuing to play on without us, and of course they decided to score 2 touchdowns in that time period.
Hopefully it wasn't because of us.
Yeah, I hope not either, for everybody's sake at home. We hope everybody else is enjoying their Friday night as much as we are here. But yeah, it's a big rainstorm in the process outside, and they moved us inside to avoid all that. But we'll see what Bryson Harrison can do here. The senior, of course, the Georgia State commit, is going to hand the ball off to Gadsden for about 1 and tackled by
Bunch of Eagles on there.
I like to say a pack. I would say about a pack of Eagles on that one. And Lassiter, of course, hurrying up. We would guess about under 2 minutes remaining. We can't see the clock anymore at this point in time. So what we can see, you guys can see at home, to put it frankly. Shaw Mixon in there, along with J.P. Vincent on the line, of course. And the Etowah defense shifting along with the Lassiter audible. So 1:23 and counting. It's second and about 9. Harrison under shotgun, waiting for his blockers, and that one's going to be fired over, we would guess, and caught.
And the thing about the rain, I remember last year it was a struggle for all teams, not only us Lassiter Trojans, but I mean, everybody was fumbling.
High school drainage systems are not, of course, up to par with some of the college and NFL collegiates, or, collegiates and professionals. So it's not going to be perfect, but still waiting on that storm.
Yeah.
About a minute to go. Here's Harrison under shotgun, having to roll to the right, having to avoid some pressure, and he's going to fire this one, and almost caught into triple coverage. Shaw Mixon almost brought that miraculously down, but it'll stop the clock here. Tom out there talking to Bryson, saying maybe he had a better option if he wouldn't continue to roll backwards.
Yeah, and on that last play, I think I figured out it was Noah Seabolt on that catch and run.
Yes, it was.
Good to see the young guy in the action on the offense.
So, of course, as our broadcast shows, it's 2nd and 10. Lassiter with 2 timeouts remaining. Of course, they called the other one earlier, awaiting a delay of game. As we await the 2nd down snap. 14-3 Lassiter late in the first half. Of course, during the halftime, we'll be off the air, but we'll be continuing for the second half, so don't go anywhere. Gadsden on a great run to the outside. We'll see on this replay if he moved the chains or not. Ricardo Jackson, look at the block there, taking on 3 people at once.
Nice.
It's breaking a tackle was Gadsden. We still haven't seen Murray out of the backfield yet, which is something interesting. Maybe we'll see more of him in the second half.
Oh, yeah. It's good to see Sam out there. I mean, he has been in and out of the team throughout the years, but on that sweep to the right, he looked like he was showing off some speed, and it was pushed back, I guess, by a penalty.
Yeah, unfortunate. So, I don't know if the clock ran off on that or not. Once again, we see what you see.
Yeah.
For the folks at home, which we appreciate you listening or tuning in on any platform that we are on. Of course, NFHS, and of course now on the Lassiter Network, Lassiter News Network YouTube channel. So, appreciations to both parties in there tonight, watching some Lassiter Trojan action. Looks like the ref trying to spot this ball correctly. Lassiter, looks like they had Shaw Mixon in motion. He had to go back, and might have not helped Lassiter's case because Etowah can kind of expect the motion now, which here he goes. It's going to be handed off, rolled out to the right by Harrison. He's going to fire this one, and it's going to be knocked down and complete into a pack of 5 Eagles. Etowah in there to break it up on Ricardo Jackson. It'll be 3rd down.
Looked like he tried to fit that in a tight window, and it was touched by a lot of Etowah's DBs.
Of course, a lot of the schools in this area are named after gentlemen of the past. Of course, Lassiter, Walton, Kell, Sprayberry that way. I wonder if Etowah is that way too. I wonder if there was once upon a time a famous Mr. or Mrs. Etowah, and I would guess if so, that's probably what the school is named after. So maybe that's something we can look up here on this halftime. 3rd and 20 now, 50 seconds remaining here in the first half, 14-3 Lassiter lead. If anything, you just want to hand the ball off and take some time off the clock, which they don't. Harrison rolling to the right into nobody, and that's going to be a 4th down. 43 seconds. We'll stop the clock.
Threw that ball away. Looked like Luke O'Malley had his hand up, expecting the ball, but
trying to see.
There was a pass rush.
Don't have number 50 on our book either for Etowah, so not exactly sure who that was in there to disrupt it. He was in the backfield a couple times that drive, so gave Harrison some trouble, and it looks like it'll be Bradley Hungerbuehler out there to punt it away. You see the student section noticing that they're on camera, waving to the back of the crowd. And it'll be Bradley rolling out, and he's got to do something with it. Second time tonight that he decided to keep it. Ball is dropped and out of bounds. I don't know what that was.
Looked like he was trying to throw there. Then he ran it out, and he lost the football.
You wonder if he's going to have the starting job this time next week.
By the looks of it, I don't know.
That'll be up to the coach's decision, of course.
Now Etowah's getting the ball on the
Lassiter side of the field.
Yeah, 47, I believe.
36 seconds with 3 timeouts. That was not what Lassiter needed.
No.
Not at all. So
If they got that ball out of there, I mean, they could have pushed him back and probably stopped them, honestly, unless they run this quick offense that I'm assuming they're going to go on.
Strickland's back out there, the pocket passer. You see Carter Jackson having to pick up his towel right before the snap. So we wait it. In shotgun is Strickland. Rolling out. Now stepping up in the pocket, firing this one.
Looked to be incomplete by the reaction by the players.
Yeah, you don't see the ball moving anywhere. So if we had to guess correctly, it looks like it'd be incorrect. And there's the camera angle everybody wants to see. Hit. Tome talking to the official at the bottom of our screen. 29 seconds and counting. 2nd and 10 from the Lassiter 47. Etowah working on offense here, trying to pick up some points before the break. They have a good kicker, so you want to make sure they stay out of that range. Strickland firing this one, and it's going to be knocked away, incomplete by Shaw Mixon in there on the defensive side of the ball. He's played a lot tonight, and there's Parker Hungerbuehler in there to help. And I'll bring up a 3rd and 10. A nice incompletion and breakup there. You wonder if they maybe could have intercepted it.
Yeah, if he got his hands on that and picked it up, then they could have turned that thing around, maybe scored another touchdown or maybe in a field goal.
Yeah.
Put them a 17-3 or 21-3.
See the band setting up for their first halftime performance of the year, which, this
Big deal for them.
Yeah, this program, of course, takes the marching band very seriously, a very prestigious program here.
Mm-hmm. Gone to the Rose Bowl a couple times.
Oh, yeah, and they're awaiting in the the Thanksgiving Day parade a couple times with Macy's, so awaiting their first showing of the year. 3rd and 10 here, Strickland on a hard count, and it looks like there might be a flag, and we'll see what the call is. It's going to be a false start, so back them up 5. 3rd and 15 as the crowd goes wild from inside the studio.
Pushing them back looks good for the Trojans. I mean, if they can stop them here, maybe before they run the clock down, call a timeout and get a chance to score again.
Yeah. You wonder if they tackle them in bounds, what they decide to do. Of course, you want to get the stop originally, but if you get them out of bounds, maybe you decide to go for it on your next possession. But the first thing is they got to get the ball back, which, of course, in football, there's 4 downs, and Etowah's only on their 3rd. Strickland, shotgun, looking to the right side of the field, one-on-one matchup with Joe Blackwell, and that's going to be incomplete over the side, out of bounds. You knew Joe Blackwell wasn't going to give that one up too easily. Jaheim Murray over there in pursuit as well, and that's going to be 4th down, and the Etowah Eagles are going to have to punt this ball right back away. So a huge break. The Lassiter defense has had Bradley Hungerbuehler's back 2 times in a huge situation tonight.
Yeah, it's good to see Joe out there. I mean, he's been doing that cornerback position since probably his freshman year, and he's been killing it. I mean, pretty sure he was on the field his freshman year as a varsity athlete.
Sure he was. Last year, of course, took on a couple big Ohio State commits, as we mentioned earlier. This ball is going to be booted into the sky, into the very rainy night at Shallowford Road.
Good eagle bounce and inside the 20.
So Lassiter will be starting from about the 17, call it 18-yard line. When we return, we'll actually probably just stay here at this point in time. We'll see what they decide to run with here.
Yeah. Inside the 20, I mean, this is a long ways away from that end zone, but they've already got some good big plays for these touchdowns.
I recognize that old outside area by the end zone, don't you? It's like we were just out there like 10 or 15 minutes ago before the downpour started to occur. So
Looking pretty dry out there.
Wonder if we can get set back up there for the second half. If not, we'll see. But it looks like Lassiter's probably going to kneel this one into halftime, which they will, depending on if Etowah calls timeout or not. They do have 3 of them to use, but
they're going to walk this out.
Looks like as of right now, that's going to be it. So call it a great first half. Of course, we missed both touchdowns in the action, moving to our secondary setup here. But a great first half of football here at the start of the year for the Lassiter Trojans. We go to the halftime break with the Trojans leading 14-3 over the visiting Etowah Eagles. Coach Tome walked into the locker room joined by, it looks like his son there, ready to fire up this team for the second half. We'll let you guys know if there's any band or any halftime entertainment. If not, make sure to stick around and come back in about 15 or 20 minutes, and we will have the second half for you right here on Lassiter News Network. 14-3 Lassiter as we go to the half.
We can't even see the game.
Welcome back here. Start of the second half. Awaiting action here. 14-3 Trojans. A great second quarter there. 2 touchdowns. Of course, the long scramble by Bryson Harrison. And, of course, you said Ricardo Jackson fought through a couple tacklers on pursuit of the end zone. So it's 14-3. Etowah is going to get the ball back to start the second half, being that Lassiter kicked to start the night. So we await that. We see the refs keeping themselves warm here as we start the second half. It's a big drive here for Etowah.
Yeah. See if they can push the gun, maybe drive down, get a couple rushes, maybe a throw or two, and see if they can score. I mean, they're down 3-14, so if they can put something together, maybe make this a one-score game. I mean, they're looking pretty good for this second half. I mean, what I'm seeing from the Trojans is quick offense and good pursuit on the defense, so they're staying stable at minimum. So,
and here come the Trojans. They're stretching, making sure everybody's ready to keep going. They got a 2-score lead here to start the second half, and you want to keep yourselves on the motor here. Mm-hmm. Of course, as an Atlanta sports fan, I have seen some of the not-so-finest moments in teams letting up, and we hope that's not the case for our Trojans here tonight.
No.
See the Etowah, I want to say one of the coordinators just intensely staring into the sky.
He is locked in.
Players continuously getting into his peripheral vision, and he wants none of it. So we got under a minute here, waiting for the second half kickoff. The student section is pretty much empty back out for Etowah.
Yeah.
You don't know if they either A, skedaddled, or B, if they're just all in the concessions, which recent I had an idea to maybe go get a halftime burger and fry to snack on, but with the 15-minute time period, knowing the lines and knowing that we wanted to at least not be able to eat them on air, we want to have the quality that all our patrons have paid for here and not have chewing microphones. We decided to hold off, so a hangry broadcast crew for the second half here.
We'll just hang tight. I mean, it'll be all right.
Absolutely. I believe if it's a 20-point lead or more come fourth quarter time, I believe it is a running clock, but not absolutely sure. I guess we can double check that throughout some point in the quarter if we end up in a scenario along that time. But that all starts off with a second half stop by the Trojans here. The kicking units are making their way back to the field.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody healthy. No one's getting injured yet.
Yeah.
That's always nice.
Thankfully, it's not very rainy conditions.
No.
So it's a lot less of the fumbling and a lot less of the loose tackles that can lead to injury. So.
Yeah. But if it does start to rain, we do have to worry.
The radar does say that it's possible all night, and that is why we have been moved down here to the AV room. Mm-hmm. Drew Campbell. Having a great conversation there with the official. Looks like he's giving him advice on which side to kick it to. You love that. Turns around, gives a clap to his boys.
Get this second half on its way.
Campbell getting everybody fired up, saying, let's go, guys. We got 24 minutes of football remaining. Let's go finish this out. You're in a spot you want to be. Campbell to kick it away, and this one's booted into the sky. And it will be taken in around the 15-yard line. Breaks the tackle and up past the 30. It looks like that might have been number 16 on the Etowah offense. We'll double check who that is. That's actually...
Looks like it was tackled by Evan Shear, too.
Looks like that might have been the backup quarterback, Xavier Mahoney, in there on the return. So continuing to play the role of athlete tonight. So, took 7 seconds off the clock there. Something you don't see a lot on many kick returns.
Short kick there, but returned out to the 26. See what Etowah can bring on his first drive of the second half.
All right. From the 26-yard line, pass complete over the middle for about 5 or 6 yards there. Good throw to start the drive by Jack Strickland, who's in there on this set of downs. That is number 19, which we, once again, do not have on our sheet for people that are just now tuning in. The Etowah rosters are not fully online for everybody to view with positions. So while there is a whole roster out there, we didn't want to misinterpret anybody's spot on the field. So we're doing the best that we can here. Second and about 4, it's Reese Ware up the gut for about a yard or 2, taken down by, looked like Bryce Parker there. A couple big tackles he's had in the last couple drives. So it'll be third. Looks like about 4 yards here. So we got about a minute into the second half. You would love a 3-and-out right here.
For sure. Looks like the Trojans are piling up the line with 5, but
Something you don't see when they're usually a 3-down team.
yeah. So there could be a blitz right here.
Blitz has not been shown,
Delayed
and
blitz.
there is a
Ball.
ball is on the ground, and it looks like Etowah. It's still on loose, and it looks like we're waiting for the call. We see what you see at home, and it looks like Etowah was able to maintain the football. And it will be a punt from the Eagles. That could have been huge. You see the defensive coach coming out and chest bumping all his players in the air. And what could have been a great play. I mean, we've seen a lot of punting issues here by both teams in week 1. And that might have been the worst of them all so far.
I think that was a great call by the defensive coordinator for the Trojans. I mean, now we get this punt coming in, almost blocked by a Trojan there, and it's going to be returned.
In the air,
ball
out of
came
our
out.
view. The ball continuing to roll, and will be down about the 22-23-yard line. Tome continuing to coach up his team. Staying sideline to sideline all night with them.
Yeah.
And on Bryson Harrison, we'll go back to work. Still interested to see if we see Jaheim Murray more.
Yeah. Hopefully they can switch in and out of those 2 running backs, maybe even have them both on the field, give them some good play fakes, and I bet you that'll fool the defense for sure.
I think the two play really well off one another.
Yeah.
Gadsden more of the change of pace, and Murray will go ground and pound for a couple of yards. But when used right together, they're 2 of the better backs in the region.
Yeah, and they've been playing since at least 7th grade, the both of them, switching in and out of running back, defense.
You would know, yeah.
So
you got Harrison under shotgun, 2 lined up to the left. Bobbles a snap, having to keep it and kind of eat this play. And he's actually going to turn into a good use. Looks like he might have picked up a first down. We'll see
Past the
officially
30,
here in a second. And it looks like, via Reese, that will be a first down. As all the officials huddling up near the Lassiter sideline.
yeah, it looked like Bryson wanted to get that ball out of his hands real quick. He fumbled it off the snap and looked like it was going to be a run to the right, but he had to move his blockers.
And it looks like there's going to be a hold. So this play is going to be coming back for Lassiter. So instead of a first down at the 30, it's going to be 1st and 20 from the 21-yard line.
Yeah.
So they got that's actually going to be the 16-yard line. That's my apologies. They get along 86 yards to go to get to the red zone. So it'll be 1st and 20 here. Harrison rolling out to the right, overthrowing. It looks like Griffin Mack there.
Right through his
pursuit.
fingers, but it was a high pass.
Didn't want to take the hit for only a couple yards. Smart week 1. You don't want to risk too much of you don't want to throw yourself out there in an injury scenario. So it'll be 2nd down and 20.
Looks like we got some fans up there at the top on the track.
Some of the team moms, perhaps, for Etowah. 2nd and 20 for Harrison. He's going to dump this one. Screen pass to Gadsden, who had lots of green grass in front of him, and unfortunately dropping the ball. Tried to cover it up, making sure it wasn't ruled a fumble. Doing the smart thing, and of course it wasn't complete, so it'll be 3rd and 20.
Good for the Eagles. They can stop the Trojans here and probably get some good field position around like the 40 with this punt, but set them up for some good field position. Hopefully the Trojans can get out of this hole, though.
You don't like the backwards moving,
No.
especially after you're just about able to recover a fumble and have yourself on the brink of the red zone to start a drive. Now you're inside your own 20-yard line, 3rd down and 20. Etowah showing blitz. Harrison rolling to the right, looking for Sean Mixon, and he's going to get it over the top. Ricardo Jackson trying to flip it back in bounds. And it'll be a 3-and-out. See some of the offensive linemen talking over, and out comes I wonder if it's still going to be Bradley Hungerbuehler, or if maybe they'll go back to the now sophomore Mark Keith to boot it away. We'll let everybody know here in just a moment.
That visual blitz, I think, caught the offensive line off
yeah.
guard right there. And
It looks like they were trying to set up something to what Lassiter did the drive before, and they successfully did so. So let's see who is kicking away. 4th and 20. Snap.
Got it off.
That's going to be taken in. Around the bend, it's going to be muffed at the 40, down inside the 35. This is the live ball. Lassiter with a huge tackle inside the 35-yard line. Shaw mixing in there on special teams, getting them fired up. Parker, Hungerbuehler, two guys you don't see share the field at the same time, and they're making a huge play. That ball could have been similar to how Etowah started the night on their side of the 50-yard line, or Lassiter's side of the 50-yard line. That's going to be way back at their own 34.
Wow, what a punt for the Trojans there.
And a nice help there,
field,
yeah. And we're trying to figure out if that was either Bradley or Mark Keith to do it away there. But either way, it's going to be, call it about a 50-yard punt maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
With the muff and the tackle for loss after the recovery.
I've never grown up catching the punts over the head, so. There was a flag there.
Used to the hands.
Back.
It was used to the hands.
Yeah.
We can kind of hear from our inside the control room there. So where they still have the PA and our lovely vocal cords turned up in there. And you see a live shot, Supasusa swag, and the process of going on. We wish we were out there to bring that to everybody. One of the cooler traditions here at this school.
For sure.
And I'm sure you kind of wish that you could participate as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've done a couple years in a row, but.
Like a Ruggiero.
Oh, he's in it. He's getting it. I think I see up there holding the camera Ella Morris, the former Trojan girl. Could be mistaken, but it's good to see old seniors coming back and helping out the Trojans. Yeah, I'm here with one right here, Mr. Blake.
Of course, graduated in May. Still glad to be helping out the program. Reese Ware up the gut for a couple yards to start the drive for Etowah. Of course, 14-3 game. Lassiter in front.
You're definitely starting to see their star players out here, number 13, number 16, and definitely number 8. They're all
number
here.
21 has also made a couple snaps. We wish we had
sure.
a name for him.
Those out routes, those
quick
both
out routes. 21 and 25 at the right side of your screen have been in the action for sure. It's Xavier Mahoney, the sophomore. He's going to QB keep it here on the option and tackle down after a gain about 5 or 6 yards.
Looked like we had Evan Shear out there in the backfield, just shadowing
Not fast
him.
enough, yeah.
Unfortunately, missed that tackle. He fumbled the ball there.
Yeah, Joe Blackwell about forced that ball out.
Yeah.
Seems like any time he's in there making a play, it's almost bad for the
sure.
opponents. So third down.
They were dropping back in coverage last play. They had 3 only rushing, and Evan Shear got through.
So what is this? 3rd and about 3, we'll say. Mahoney rolling to the right with the option, and he's going to keep it once again for it looks like about a first down.
Put the wheels on right there, cutting all the way to the outside on the out of bounds marker.
So, under 7:40 remaining, you see some of the teammates helping each other out with the padding. Number 21 and 46, that's Evan Shear and
Charlie Alexander, I believe.
Yeah. Helping each other out like Ricardo Jackson and Jaheim Murray. Getting their signals. Mahoney with the quick short pass, and there's Jaheim Murray able to break it up. Looks like on the way to the ground, so.
Yeah, Charlie Alexander, I believe, is his first time playing football, and he's out there on linebacker. It's good to see him out there.
That pass was held on to.
He just got his ring there at halftime for the soccer state champs.
Wonder if he received it or if some family member had to go out there for him. Also, always a funny situation when you're live in the game, but you have something to handle pre or halftime. It's like, well, it can only be so many places at one time. Xavier Mahoney with the option, and that ball's going to be flipped forward. That's got to be a legal forward pass, correct?
I mean, they're going to count as a fumble and probably move. Wow, they're going to place the ball up.
What?
I guess they're.
Again, we see what everybody else sees at home. And they're spotting it. It's going to be about 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6.5. They got to get to the 46 for a new set of downs here. They got a weird formation to the right side. I wonder if they're setting up a keeper, and they're actually going to hand this one up the gut to Reese Ware, who's able to fling himself for a first down. Jaheim Murray came in karate style trying to make a tackle.
Flew his body at him. Hit his own player.
Yeah. Trying to maybe help the forward progress get stopped. Look at that action. Boom! Ricardo's like enemy fire. It looks like that's going to be a false start, perhaps.
Timeout.
On Etowah. Either that, well.
Maybe
not.
Oh, offsides on the defense.
Oh, man. They caught him lacking. Caught him jumping there, and it's going to be 1st and now 5 from the Lassiter 45. So Etowah doing what they need to do this drive, getting themselves back into great field position, moving the ball. Clock not really too much of an element yet. We're still 18 plus minutes to change in this ball game, but you would like to see Lassiter get a stop. Reese Ware once again on the keeper. It looks like this option defense is now starting to fool with Lassiter a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. We're not seeing the main quarterback, number 8.
Jack Strickland, of course.
He's not really out there. We got Xavier out there running the option.
Number 74 running out there for Lassiter. That's Noah O'Neill, the sophomore. He's played linebacker and down lineman sets tonight. And it's going to be a keeper. It looks like a high snap, and that's maybe by design. To the outside is Mahoney, and are they going to catch him outside of the 10-5 and called out at the 1.5-yard line? Mahoney there. Ricardo Jackson getting turned around the wrong way. Great block there by the receiver, number 19, and Etowah set up goal to go here. First and goal from inside the 2-yard line. Looks like they're going to keep it up. Ware to the backside of the quarterback, and they're going to hand it to the big man right up the gut for a touchdown. And Etowah has clawed themselves right back into a one-score scenario here. You wonder if they're going to go for 1 or 2, but as of right now, I'd say now a 14-9 Lassiter lead.
Yeah, that hurry-up offense really got the Trojans lacking there, and I guess that cut on the outside really got them to the 1 and helped them score that touchdown right there.
Looks like they're going to be out there for 2. Of course, they got a senior kicker. So they like their odds if they can get it to 3 points that a field goal from any realistic distance could tie the game. Of course, you got 2 of the better legs here in Cobb County at the kicking position, Drew Campbell, and of course for them they got Carson Allen, who had a couple of big boots for touchbacks from past the 40-yard line earlier tonight.
It was a pretty long field goal too.
Yeah, but like 47, 48 yards. So interesting. I understand why they're giving him an opportunity to.
They are going to go for it.
Yeah, they're giving their offense an opportunity to make it a field goal game. So it gives Carson Allen a little bit more respect on that regard. Xavier Mahoney lined up 5 wide. Now they're going to sweep the running back to the right side. Mahoney is going to be stuffed in the backfield, but the play is still live. They have not wrapped up the quarterback. They're going to roll out to the right side, and it looks like that's going to be caught for a 2-point conversion. What in the world just happened?
Wow.
They couldn't bring the quarterback down. Too many red shirts on the ground.
There is a flag.
Yeah, I wonder if that might have been an illegal.
Forward pass. Maybe past the line scrimmage originally and then threw it back and then.
Yeah, because you snap it from the 2-yard line, and he was well past the goal line there. So
looked like it.
Great play. He's able to keep his ability alive, and even though that was the opponent, you got to respect it. That was a heck of an effort there from the backup quarterback.
They are going to get a second opportunity.
So it'll be another 2-point conversion now from the 7 instead of the 2-yard line. So you think if Lassiter had the opportunity to decline that penalty, they would have. But
got a couple seniors on the field right there. Number 74, Connor Ball, the nose tackle. It's good to see him out there. I mean, he's been waiting for his opportunity to play on varsity, and he's finally getting that chance this year, and I'm glad to see him out there.
So another 2-point conversion coming up. We're about at the halfway mark here in this third period. Lassiter at 14-9, trying to prevent it from being a 14-11 game. And that's going to be a completion on the left hash and into the end zone for a 2-pointer is number 25 for the Etowah Eagles to make it a 14-11 game. So a great drive there. You see Xavier Mahoney
talking up with his head coach.
Maybe it looked like he was limping, maybe not after all. Good drive from him, and you see Coach Sheehan for Lassiter getting right into the huddle with his his club, making sure that they got to keep their energy high. You know, that was a big field flipper. You know, Lassiter was 2 or 3 inches away, a mere moment from being outside the red zone with a chance to go up 21-3, and now having to regroup after a 65-yard march by the Eagles, capped off by the 7-yard 2-point conversion. The big scramble there by Mahoney to get him inside the 2-yard line. And Lassiter offense has to go back to work. I mean, you weren't settled at an 11-point lead. Of course, you're not going to it with 24 minutes to play, but it's a field goal game again.
Yeah, this momentum shift could affect the chances of the Trojans really cementing the Eagles down. But hopefully that they can bounce back and see Bryson Harrison maybe making some plays along with Shaw Mixon and Sam Gadsden, maybe pushing this drive, hopefully for a touchdown.
And these two teams are going to play with heart. You know, two teams that were on the 7A and 6A level respectively last year that both had under 500 seasons through the kickoff by Allen through for a touchback. So these teams are seeing this as an opportunity to start off the year on the right foot. You know, Etowah only going 1-9 last year, beating Woodstock. Of course, they're big rivals. So if you're going to go 1-9, you'd like to beat your biggest rival, correct? In that scenario, by a 17-14 score. And of course, Lassiter losing 2 of their last 3 games to miss out on the GHSA playoffs themselves. So even though this is a non-region game, these teams are not too far apart. As we spoke about off the air, you know, you go across 575 up a couple miles, you're in Etowah's area.
We are in different classes. I'm pretty sure Lassiter is 6A and Etowah is 7A.
Looks like that is still Samuel Gadsden up there with Harrison, who's going to take the snap, and that's going to be in the backfield, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Incomplete, now rolled. Sapasusa swag being blasted once again out there in the student section.
Band getting into it.
If they're not getting into it, who is?
Yeah.
Under 6 minutes now, 5:58. So we await the second down snap. It's packed out there. Those are your people, right?
Oh, yeah. It's good to see the energy up as Shaw Mixon takes that sweep to the right. A tackle for loss by number 54 on Etowah.
Loss of about 5. Play call did not go the way they wanted. They've motioned him a couple times tonight, and a good read there by the Etowah defense. Looks like he was brought down by number 54. So it'll be about 3rd and 13 from once again inside their own 20. This offense is not going the way they want. Harrison's having to keep the ball too much for your liking here on week 1. You don't want your quarterback taking all those hits. Of course, we know what the eventual downfall was for him last year. 3rd and 13, Etowah showing blitz. Harrison having to get the ball away. And it looks like that might have been
an incomplete pass. Yep, punt team's coming out for the Trojans.
3 and out.
Tough to see.
Sorry once again for the bad camera work for folks at home. First time for a lot of people at different positions here. Of course, last year was mostly a senior class here at AV. So a lot of people on new positions on the fly, and of course with the weather issues, we've been relocated. So once again, our apologies for the inconveniences. We're doing the best that we can tonight. Bradley Hungerbuehler, they're booting it away, but fielding it inside the 50, now closer to the 40-yard line, continuing to go is the wide receiver, number 21. And Etowah is going to take back over with pretty much already in field goal range, so a 3 and out. They have an opportunity to tie this game right back up. 5 minutes to go in the 3rd period, and they're starting at the Lassiter 35, 36-yard line.
Yeah, not too much to go here for the Eagles, but hopefully the Trojans can get this stop, play some good defense, and get the ball back. Maybe even block this field goal if they get to that point.
Yeah. Looks like you might be trying to force a turnover. You've had 2 turnovers tonight that have been overturned. Of course, we talked about already the not able to recover on that muff punt, and Parker Hungerbuehler had a great interception on the opening drive tonight that was reversed and, of course, later turned into an Etowah field goal. So here is Mahoney sticking in there. He's been the quarterback for all 11 of Etowah's points tonight. The QB rush on the first play is going to go for about 6 yards. Be 2nd and 4 coming up.
Seems like they've solely gone to Mahoney here in the second half.
Yeah, it's been a one-man show looking like Deebo Samuel out there with the Niners last season. I'm sure he has a cool nickname at some point.
Mahoney, yeah.
Xavier Mahoney. I mean,
That's
a cool name, I've got to say. So, I mean, I'm sure there's some cool nicknames that he's got around Etowah's campus. So,
I'd say Jack Strickland's a cool name, too.
Absolutely. First down on that play, the running back number 20. That is not on our list.
Tackle by number 10, pushed out of bounds, bit past the first down marker. It's a good little pop to him.
So now inside the red zone, or about inside the red zone is Etowah. They're going to motion Mahoney over to talk over the snap. I wonder if they're maybe bringing back in Strickland in that process. Nope, Mahoney will stay out there.
Yeah, this run offense has been working. I mean, hopefully the Trojans can figure out a way to stop it.
Faking the motion now is Mahoney throwing it over the middle, and that's going to be deflected and incomplete. Wonder if that was a little bit of a lefty action there.
Yeah, he is a lefty.
So maybe that's why they trust the upperclassmen
side.
more in the passing game. Only issue is later in the year, you wonder if this offense will become more one-dimensional because you know how the saying goes, it looks like there's a flag on the play. Mm-hmm. You got two. If you think you got two quarterbacks, you got none.
Yeah.
And while it's breaking apart the Trojan defense right now, you wonder if this film is going to continue to roll out throughout the year on how they use both of them, how people will be able to adjust to both these guys, Strickland and Mahoney for Etowah.
Yeah.
So, special thank to our sponsors here, as you see, Chick-fil-A, Texas Roadhouse, McDonald's, Scoville Chicken, and Knuckles Subs. To a couple of our food sponsors tonight. Yep, as you see, Buffaloes. So, of course, for anybody wondering, here at Lassiter News Network, we are in the process of trying to get more sponsors. If anybody is interested, there is an email that'll get you in touch with our producer, Philip Green, at Lassiter News, Lassiter News at gmail.com. We'll be happy to work with you. Mahoney on the keeper, taken down by Jaheim Murray, pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 5 or 6, and it'll be about 2nd and 14 now. Coming up, of course, that penalty was a hold, which is, being that it was an incomplete pass, a win for the Lassiter defense, Under 4 minutes to play, you'd like to get a turnover here. I know they're hungry for one after having 2 taken out of their grasp tonight. You want to maintain this lead. You know their kicker's got a leg.
Yeah, if we can get pressure on the quarterback here, it'd be really nice. Push him back even more. I mean, it's only 2nd down. They're basically reset on this drive.
Honestly, why wouldn't you send it? Because either way, he's going to be in the backfield with a bunch of people on the rushes. As you see, he's going to step up in the pocket, fire this one over the middle of the field and into the end zone. Etowah has taken the lead. Looks like that was Parker Hungerbuehler that was beat on that play.
Threw it into the bucket. I mean, you could not have placed that anywhere better. Like, that is a perfect pass.
And Parker looking around for help. It never came. And as of right now, it's now a 17-14 Etowah lead, PAT to B. Wow. What a change of events here.
Yeah.
Be Carson Allen, the lefty senior, on for the extra point. They decided they didn't need him in their last drive, saying, you know what, we'll take the 2. From the 7-yard line, they continue to trust that offense. And once again, 2 straight drives where Etowah has now taken the lead here. Late in the 3rd quarter here, 3:40 and counting. A 15-0 run, to start the second half.
All righty, here we go. Kickoff, Etowah Eagles to the Lassiter Trojans here in the third quarter. 3:40 left.
Take it away, Reese.
Back deep for the Trojans looked like Parker Hungerbuehler and
Jack Strickland.
Once
again, another touchback by the mighty leg of Carson Allen.
Yeah, he's got a boot.
If you're Lassiter this drive, your offense has to wake back up. You know, the field not only has the field position flipped, so has the lead.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing in football. You know, as they say, momentum is probably flip sides here. Trying to pull up one of the old Madden lines there.
For sure.
Charles Davis speaking it into existence. So.
Yeah, what I'm hoping from the Trojans is look back to what was successful earlier in that first half and definitely stick with that throughout this whole drive. I mean, Ricardo had some good catches in the first half.
See him lined up the top of your screen.
Yeah, there he goes.
They're going back under center here. You haven't seen a little bit. No. Gadsden maybe trying to get themselves in a better down and distance scenario, and all over that is Etowah for a loss on the play.
Yeah, this defense is looking really good, and they're definitely high on energy. So if we can kill that momentum from them, that'd be great.
So it'll be 2nd and 11 now. Call it 10. Confirmed by our director in the background, Matteo DeRusso, hard at work. Shout out to you. Once again, we've been moved to the classroom since the end of the first period due to weather issues. Gadsden on the fake. Harrison now rolling out to the right side, and it looks like that pass is going to be caught.
Number 17.
17, which is Aaron Daniels, the junior.
Wow.
Wonder if that's somebody new to the school.
Missed tackle by Etowah's defense, and
something rare tonight.
Yeah, made a move up to the 35, and Trojans are in a good position to keep going downfield.
Take two, says Mr. DeRusso. And it's 1st and 10 now. Handoff up the gut to, I believe that was Gadsden. You hope he doesn't lose the football in that scenario. Once again, there to clog up the hole. They showed that a lot in the first couple drives, and Etowah's starting to pick up on it.
Yeah.
Helmet has come off by number 72, so it looks like he's going to have to sit out a down. See if we have a identity on him, which of course we do not.
But the Trojans are looking for a hole right there in that middle. If the line can split that defense, Sam's got the legs. He'll make a run for the end zone.
I feel like if you're going to try to play that ground and pound game, that's better for Jaheim Murray to take over. But of course, that's why we're in the booth and not coaching. So
under center with no one behind him.
It's a delayed keeper to Gadsden. There's the legs you're talking about, but just nowhere to go. Still trying to rumble for it. And you see him in a
late brawl.
Tackle battle, yeah. Thankfully, nothing came out of that. No hankies were thrown in the air. No fists were launched.
Looks to be a 3rd and 8 here. Hopefully the Trojans can make a play.
You wonder if they go back to the 5-wide set here.
Yeah.
You have Griffin Mack usable at the tight end. It seems like Jaheim Murray is in maybe for better blocking in this scenario. Trying to talk over with Bryson. It is his first time on offense tonight. Blocking is Murray. It's a screen. It's going to go to Jaheim. Jaheim able to break a tackle and maybe close to the first down marker. Shaw Mixon says he has it. Of course, Etowah.
2 flags.
Not saying there is a flag on the play. Wish we could have seen that.
Must have been a legal man downfield.
That's the only issue. Look at
Alejandro sitting on a player.
Trying to play king of the mountain there.
There was 3 flags down. Man. Yeah, it looks like
you hope there's an offset then, if that's the case. Maybe a rough and
looks like it might have been on the defense.
Now the only issue is does Lassiter also have a penalty in the process? Very rare for 3 flags to be flown and all be on the same call.
Yeah. Oh, they're looking to the Etowah coach.
Awaiting the call here. It looks like they're going to back Lassiter up.
Yeah.
Jeez, holding.
It's been killer tonight.
You wonder if the loss of Ethan McKinney so far tonight has been a big impact on that. The senior lineman, which should be healthy here in the near future, was dressed out in just his street clothes tonight with the jersey on top. But boy, would he be great to get back here soon for Lassiter.
For sure. he does so good on the line, both offense and defense. I mean, he's only a plus, but we're doing what we can with what we have, and they hopefully can make a play here.
Jaheim and Bryson tucking it over. Bobbles the snap. Bryson's going to have to eat this one. Rolling backwards. He's going the wrong way, and he's just going to go down inside the 15-yard line. Big sack there by Etowah. And yet another 3-and-out for Lassiter. Time is probably winding down here in this third quarter. Looks like we got an injured Etowah Eagle top of our screen. We'll take a break. Welcome back here, late third quarter, 35 seconds to be exact here. We'll stay with you here at the end of the third quarter for a special segue here. Xavier Mahoney staying in the ball game. They're going to keep the ball right up the gut, and Mahoney with a gain of about 12 or 13.
He is really shining tonight. He's been making some big plays. I mean, all over the place, running up and down the field.
It's going to move the chains.
Yeah.
Stop the clock, too, to move it. Of course, at the high school and the college level. That's how that works. So from the 33, yep, Reese right on it, is Etowah. Lassiter trying to not let up a 21-0 run. This was a 14-3 Lassiter lead to start the second half. Faking the throw is Mahoney, and being wrapped up by only about a yard or two gain. Number 76 in there in pursuit, which is Troy Taylor, the junior, in there at the nose tackle position, saying not this time.
Yeah.
And we'll wonder if there's another snap in the third quarter. If not, it's 4's up here with Lassiter down 18-14 here. It looks like they're going to try to at least get Lassiter to jump here at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, you'd assume that the Trojans are assuming it's always going to be a run with number 16 there at the head of the corn. But now it's the end of the third quarter, and Trojans are looking for a comeback here, hopefully a stop.
So, as we move to the fourth quarter now, Etowah is going to be moving down to the other end of the field, of course. This is a big drive for Lassiter. While we have a chance, let's have a little segue here to, I know a lot of our viewers tonight are probably taking some time out to watch this game, and in the process, they're not catching the World Series rematch going on about, 8 or 9 miles south of us towards the Vinings area, the Braves and the Astros. And we'll give a little bit of update on that for the viewers that are missing that ball game. The Braves are winning 6-2 going into the seventh inning. Kyle Wright put on 6 innings of 2-run ball, it looks like. Gave up 2 runs in the 5th inning, a sacrifice fly by Altuve to drive in Mancini, and a solo home run to Kyle Tucker. That as of right now, the world champions leading the AL pennant winners 6-2 going to the 7th inning. So that's what's going on with the Braves. We assume that most people are watching are Braves fans. If not, well, now you know, right?
Yeah.
So might as well become a Braves fan. What's wrong with that?
Seriously.
Of course, I know your brother, of course, the senior receiver, is a big Guardians fan, which they're also first place in their division. So I'm sure it's a lot of exciting
good
ball
baseball here.
Oh yeah. Of course, we talked about it off the air as well. You're a Packers fan.
I am.
Your brother's a Browns fan. How was Christmas Day in the house?
Christmas Day, we actually took a journey to Lambeau.
Really?
Yeah, we stopped at Chicago prior to that.
Okay.
And it was a lot of fun, spending time with my family and a big old road trip. We had multiple stops from Indianapolis to Chicago to even driving by Milwaukee for a little bit, but finally ended up at Lambeau on Christmas Day, and
Mahoney's interrupting you.
Yeah.
Inside the red zone, he goes. I'm kind of glad I asked that question. I didn't think much would come of it, but
no, yeah, we took a journey up there. I mean, we had like 6 row seats and got to see a game-winning pick from Rasul Douglas, and I'll never forget that because he is great. Now
Baker Mayfield, of course, the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers here in the NFC South. So
fighting for a job there with
maybe
three quarterbacks there, Matt Corral and
Sam Darnold.
Looks
like if they're lucky enough, they'll be able to push their chips for Josh Allen as they continue to move down that 2018 quarterback draft class.
Yeah, seriously. Those Matt Rule Panthers just trying to find it on that class.
And a quarterback that has been found tonight for Etowah is Xavier Mahoney.
Yes,
you wonder
for sure.
If different defenses, maybe Strickland is the better quarterback at that time of night. But right now, Mahoney's been the star of the show, running right through the Lassiter defensive line and into the second level, and which has flipped this whole game on its head. So 14-3 lead here for Lassiter as we started the second half, as now we're into the fourth quarter in the red zone and threatening is Etowah, trying to go up 25-14, which would be a 22-0 run.
Crazy.
I don't think Lassiter was able to muster a first down that whole quarter.
I don't think so. The third quarter was not for them.
Which here is a dump-off pass for Etowah, dropped right into the bucket in a sort of different way. That was number 10 on the completion.
Good sportsmanship by Jaheim, picking him up after.
Oh, yeah. That's what we do here, though.
Yeah, It's good to see, though.
Especially a program that has not seen a lot of winning here by Lassiter the last couple of years. At least we do the little things right, you know? Congratulating your opponent, helping him up, and it's a good show here from this school. Reese Ware up the gut, first down and more, diving towards the end zone, taken down at the 1-yard line. And Etowah is
making that push.
Inches away from taking a 2-score lead here in the fourth quarter. Number 72 back in there for Lassiter. Yep, here's Mahoney. High snap. We're up the gut, stop short. I wonder if those high snaps were by design. You're seeing a back official was wondering if it was a touchdown. It was not. It was actually, it looks like a loss on the play.
Yeah. I think that was Charlie Alexander there.
You see on the D-line, you see Griffin Mack, of course, also taking tight end snaps tonight at the edge rushing position. Lassiter going more than 3 down here, probably for the rest of the game, being how the running game has proved so far for Etowah. Up the gut and now kept by Mahoney
Untouched.
into the end zone, untouched for an Etowah touchdown.
Unfortunate there.
And if Lassiter wants to win this game tonight, they're going to have to show a little bit more grit.
Yeah.
A 21-0 run for Etowah to start the second half. The Eagles, with a 1-9 2021 season, with an opportunity to already equal their win total with a victory here tonight.
Interesting setup here.
Looks like they are going to be going for the PAT. Carson Allen on the hold as a receiver that caught that conservative catch there about a minute ago. 11 on the play clock here. Again, it's 24-13, PAT to be to make it a 25-13 lead by Etowah. And the kick, we'll presume, will be up and good. He missed it earlier, missed a shorter kick to the right, but as of right now, Etowah on top.
Now on that touchdown run there, I believe the Trojans believed that play fake there, and he was just untouched all the way to the right. I mean, it looked like they were loaded to the left, and nothing shown for it.
And it's a very similar defense to what they faced a couple times, or excuse me, a very similar offense to what they faced a couple times last year. Of course, again, thank you to our Touchdown Club sponsors being shown on the screen right now.
All About Health, Zingler Strength, Phoenix Senior Living, Atlanta Oral Surgery, and there it goes. The Willpower Team, the McElreath Team, Georgia Blinds, Mosquito Squad, and Best Quality Cleaners.
So thank you again to our long-running Touchdown Club sponsors. Once again, if you're willing to be a sponsor here for the Lassiter News Network broadcast here, we have an email that will put you in touch with Philip Green, our producer, at Lassiter News, Lassiter News @gmail.com. We'll be happy to work with you. Carson Allen about ready to boot this away, and of course we can't hear the crowd sound from in here, but I wonder how quiet it's got out there, because it's momentum is completely flipped.
I mean, Etowah's side looked like they were rallying up over there, pretty excited, maybe tying their win total this year, but hopefully that energy can sway over to the Trojans here in this fourth quarter.
Big drive upcoming, and back out of the end zone, wisely taken for a touchback. And the Lassiter offense will go to work from the 20. You got to wonder what Coach Tome has called up here. I don't know do you know who the offensive coordinator is?
I've known in the past. Looks like that might be Coach Sanchez there in the huddle, but don't know if he's the coordinator.
Because I don't want to say it exactly wrong. Oh, I meant to say Coach Dawson spoke to us before the game tonight. Donaldson, excuse me. Wanted a shout out, so there's Coach Donaldson shout
He was actually my biology teacher my freshman year.
Oh, how funny.
In the second semester. I remember right before the COVID outbreak, he was teaching us how to wash our hands.
Oh.
Right above me.
Right? The timing, right? Oh, yeah. Very funny tidbit there. Harrison, under shotgun, looking over the middle. He's got Griffin Mack for about 4 or 5, taken down by a couple Eagles in pursuit there, number 2 and number 15 mainly.
Like that
number 54
Luke
as well.
O'Malley there.
Was it? Oh, yeah, you're right. See, we're not
Navy
perfect
commit.
here.
No.
Yeah, exactly. The Navy commit. Oh, reminds me earlier, I went to the Falcons-Lions game after Christmas, right? A couple of days after that, the game you went up to in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And Lassiter had the Falcons put on like a high school athlete of the game performance.
Player of the year, right?
Yeah, and Luke O'Malley won it.
Yeah.
So I was at the game, and they had a whole segment about Luke, of course, the Navy commit, Ricardo Jackson. On the keeper, he's going to move this one out to the outside, bouncing it close to a first down. And it looks like we have an injured Eagle on the play. But what an award for Luke to win, for the community and for, his whole family over here in the Shallowford, Marietta area. And, of course, Coach Tome was probably proud of the kid.
Yeah.
I say that he's much bigger than I am and probably has a higher status, but it was just awesome to see.
Yeah.
I was there as a fan that night, and the Falcons' lone home victory all season, and be surprised to see him win that award was very cool. And of course,
you didn't know he was gonna get that award, did
no,
you?
I mean
awesome.
I had no idea. Middle of the second quarter, I'm like, oh crap, I know that guy. So very
yeah, that's so cool.
Cool award. Bryson Harrison on the QB keeper on 3rd and inches is going to move the pile.
And that chains.
Yeah, and the chains as well. So Ricardo Jackson in there to help his guy up. And 8:45 and counting here. Lassiter, all of a sudden the clock is not on your side.
No. Hopefully we can get some passes off. Maybe score a touchdown or 2 and get ourselves back into this game.
Wonder if you can get your brother out there to run that double pass one more time.
Yeah, get Danny Kern back out here.
She's hopefully he's watching from Athens tonight in his dorm from UGA. So shout out to Danny if you're watching. Sean Mixon having a run of the line here. Lassiter trying to pull what Etowah did, running the hurry-up offense. Gatson in there to block. Rolling out to the right is Harrison in pursuit, flying the ball down to the side, and out of bounds, incomplete. It looks like he was
2 receivers down there.
Looks like
up.
Ricardo was the main target.
speaking of deep plays, I mean, there was one. It was, Luke O'Malley and Ricardo.
Joe Blackwell looking over to the sideline like, yeah, I would have knocked that away myself. So back to the line they have to come now. Looks like they're going to be running more of a trips formation as we saw earlier tonight with Luke, Shaw, and Ricardo on the right side. It looks like split to the top of our screen solo is Aaron Daniel. Harrison having to step up in the pocket, firing this one quickly and knocked away from Shaw Mixon. Which will bring up a 3rd down and 10 here with about 8 minutes to go. This is a big play.
Yeah.
This is you don't want to get yourself in a 4th and long scenario here, because with 3 timeouts, you probably hope that your defense can get a stop, but
surprisingly enough, the Eagles are not blitzing visually. They could do some delayed blitz or...
which worked earlier tonight.
Yeah, many times they've gotten through the line.
Surprised there's not Jaheim Murray in to block on the scheme. Gatson in for that duty. Harrison throwing over the middle and knocked down, incomplete, throwing at his feet. Ricardo Jackson frustrated at that one, and it's going to be 4th down.
Looks like some teammate brawling on the Eagles there.
Yeah. I mean, what's not to be pumped about? Your team's on the up and up right now.
Yeah.
And you wonder what Lassiter is going to do here.
Looks like they're setting up for pump formation.
Not ideal.
Not at all.
You had all the momentum in the world, a 14-0 run to end the first half. Luke O'Malley looks like is going to be the main blocker behind the long snapper here. And the ball is going to be up in the air this time by Bradley Hungrybuehler and down
inside the 30.
Inside the 25-yard line. Call it the 26. So the best punt of the night by Bradley, but now you got to get a stop, which the Lassiter defense has not been able to do the entire second half. The one time they did, it was a muff punt that they, not the muff punt. What was the exact scenario? There was a fumble on a 3rd down delayed blitz that they couldn't get to. So Lassiter's had opportunities in the second half to keep themselves on the right side of the field, and they either haven't or they've gone 3 and out on their end. But you still got 7:48 to play. It's put up or shut up time.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get some stops. Obviously, they're probably going to be running. So, yep, there he is, Mr.
Mahoney.
Out there in the backfield. Could be a run, could be a pass. I mean, they got 5 people out on his receivers.
Here's Mahoney, quick pass over the head. So not the greatest arm.
No, he is a lefty. It's odd, but he is a running quarterback, which is... reminds me of a guy named Lamar Jackson there.
Yeah.
For the Baltimore Ravens, but...
Oh, lefty, if we're talking a lefty quarterback that's a scrambler, you look like... Well, I was thinking more Mike Vick.
Oh, yeah.
Lefty spiral there. But, of course, over the years, he developed a great arm as well. So, a long career Vick had.
Interesting start. I guess they're playing aggressive.
One of the linemen had to come out on that play, so they're going to play it safe and run it up the gut, and that's actually going to work out really well for them. Reese Ware, the junior who's had a great night tonight, is able to move it for about 9 yards, and it'll be 3rd and short. They played it safe there. One of their linemen had to come out with the helmet falling off the play before, so instead of running one of their similar rollout or QB keepers, they just give Reese a chance to go up the gut with it, and it worked great.
Yeah.
And so that will make it
might have been 1st down.
New set of downs for
high snap.
Looks like it's once again by design. Reese for about 3 on that one. Second and 6 upcoming. We're under the 7-minute mark here. Sean Mixon talking to the coaches on the sideline. You can see the eye black on his cheek. Parker Hungrybuehler kicking around on the turf. You know this defense is frustrated.
Yes.
And the one way to take out the frustration of a former player, is get a turnover.
Yes.
And that's something that's desperately needed in this scenario.
There's a blitz.
Mahoney facing the blitz is going to take off and get away, and that's going to be a first down and more. You wonder if that's a horse collar tackle there. No call, and it'll be first down for the Eagles at the 49-yard line, right about the midfield area.
Yeah, that hole really opened up. All the Trojans collapsed onto the O-line and just lost track of the ball, and he just was able to squirm out of there and then get to the left side, almost all the way to the sideline, and almost to Trojan territory.
At the 48 now is Lassiter. It's been a long night, folks. Etowah. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles here. Lassiter needing a stop desperately. Jack Strickland back in there. You wonder what happened to the quarterback. Big hit at the end of the play there by Jaheim Murray. You like the enthusiasm on that one, Reese?
Yeah. He's throwing him bodies. He's a strong boy.
Funny moment with him last year in the cafeteria. He was in my lunch class to start the year, and of course, if he doesn't look like his age. You know, he looks like he's this 22, 23-year-old dude.
Yeah.
And there was one time he was dressed out in a suit and tie because it was a game day. He goes up to throw his trash away, big plastic bag of his, and he pops it. And of course, with his strength, it boom made the whole cafeteria on alert, including Coach Kelly, who was in there at that lunch period. And it was a good laugh for everybody. He's like, "Oops, my bad, y'all." So good character by Jaheim there, and a big play there as well. Strickland threw it into coverage there, and it looks like number 54, Bryce Parker, was trying to lurk it, but just out of his reach. Jinx.
Gosh, Jaheim on the tackle there again. He's all over the place here tonight.
He's like, I may not be getting running back snaps, but I'm going to make my presence felt. You see Luke O'Malley out there. Number 44, which we'll highlight again. Noah O'Neill's had a couple big plays tonight. You see him on the edge. Of course, you see Parker once again at the middle linebacker position. Parker Hungerbuehler at the top of your screen, playing looks like the free safety. Strickland continuing in now. They're going to hand this ball again to Reese, which is stuffed for about a gain of 1 or 2.
Yeah.
That's going to be, 3rd and 9.
Believe so.
And it makes you wonder what happens if Mahoney is either gassed or if they're just deciding to give this series of downs to Strickland by design.
It is week 1, so maybe they're just trying to figure it out. I mean, they have a little lead. If this is successful, I mean, they have a pretty good offense going down the stretch here in the season.
Two very different quarterbacks.
Yes, for sure.
Of course, this is the junior, the righty, but a pocket passer build. And Mahoney, who's shown a great second half, has put the Eagles in control of this game. The lefty scrambler with only being a 10th grader. Broken tackle there, and that is going to be, it looks like, a Etowah first down. And if so, what a backbreaker for Lassiter.
For sure.
As now under 4 minutes to go.
Pushing deep into Trojan territory here. I mean, Mr. Strickland here, he's looking pretty solid here. He's more of a standard quarterback compared to Mr. Mahoney, and he's doing well. I mean, that quick pass to the left and broken tackle really shows what he's made of, really. First down here on the 31. Trips to the right.
Looks like it might be 3rd and inches compared to what was going on in the control room, and they're going to hand it up to Reese, and it's going to be a first down either way. Flag on the play. Looks like it was after the play was over there. You wonder if it was an unsportsmanlike conduct or, I mean, Noah O'Neill's pads have gone completely out of his shoulder, so I wonder if he was rough going to the ground. 3:47 to go. Lassiter had the game in their hands.
Yes.
And the offense completely.
Just couldn't get something going.
And while you look at it the other way, the backup quarterback, Mahoney, has had a great second half. It looks like a penalty on Etowah is going to back
Personal
this up.
foul.
Yeah.
15 yards.
So that's what we were looking at after the play. So it looks like it will be a redo of 3rd down, which is maybe a saving grace for Lassiter.
If they can get a stop here, that's huge.
And you see Strickland out there, so you can expect a pass.
Yeah.
Number 21 at the top of your screen, he's had a good night. Number 19, who just made the great play taken away by the penalty, is coming to the sideline. Reese Ware is not in the game, so it looks like this is a passing down.
Trojans visually blitzing.
And they're going to hand this one up the gut. Breaking a tackle is Reese Ware, who was hidden in the backfield. And that's going to be close enough to a first down, probably 4-down territory. If not, they'll probably churn the clock down and turn it over to their kicker, Carson Allen, which is another.
Looks like he got his hand all tangled there at the end of the play, limping towards the sideline.
Oh, man. Yeah, it looks like he's asking for a little bit of help there. It's going to be a first down.
Wow.
While they're attending to Jaheim, we'll take a break. First down and 10 here, under 3 minutes to play. Jack Strickland remaining in the game for the Eagles, trying to ice this one out. A big 22-0 run for the Eagles has him set up with 3:15 and counting, up 25-14. Working with the ball on the Lassiter 33-yard line. Strickland, of course, the pocket passer, is going to hand this one up to get to Reese Ware, who's had a underrated night. A lot of times that he touched the ball has been for
positive gains. For sure.
That or big first downs in situations where Lassiter could not afford to give them up.
No, for sure.
And now under 3 minutes to go, you wonder if they're even going to get the football back.
It's going to be tough. As looked to be a timeout here.
Just a smart call there by Coach Tome. We'll stay right here. See a couple of the team managers trying to decide which equipment to pick up. And both teams have gone to their respective huddles. Etowah sideline, for the folks that have stuck around, still a party here. 2.5 minutes away from salting away a Week 1 victory. So we await the sponsors here. Reese, do you got to take a moment to catch a breather? All of a sudden, he's caught a case of the giggles here on the set here. Don't know what's so funny. What's happening? You're dropping your mic.
Yeah, my mic just fell.
You good to go?
I'm about it.
Folks, he's fine.
All right.
Not so fine, though, the Lassiter defense.
No.
Trying to get themselves an opportunity to get the football back here. Call it about 2nd and 8. 2 timeouts now remaining for Lassiter after taking that the snap before. Strickland going to throw this one over the middle. Caught and dragged and tackled out of bounds. Big play there.
Michael O'Brien there.
By Michael O'Brien, who we talked about during the last break.
Good to see him out there. He's a junior, so he's got one more season after this if all goes well.
Hopefully more than 19 games to be played because we'd like to see some playoff action.
For sure.
So this is a big 3rd down. I think that was a heads-up tackle there by the junior to bring them out of bounds. Saves Lassiter a timeout.
Yeah.
And you wonder if Etowah will give this one up the gut to Reese, and if he doesn't get a first down, they milk it under 2 minutes and give Carson Allen a chance to put him up 2 scores. By 2 scores, a 2-touchdown lead, which that is what they'll do. Reese up the gut for about 2 or 3 yards. It will be a 4th down, awaiting the timeout call, which there it is by Lassiter, I believe.
Oh, looks like Reese is down. That can't be good.
And as we talked about earlier, it was a good health night for the first half.
Yeah.
And of course, as the game has gone on, fatigue is starting to drag.
Yeah.
Bodies are starting to get tired, being piled on one another all night. And you can see a little bit more cramping going on. Jaheim earlier, and now the Etowah running back, Reese Ware. He's had a great night.
Yeah. It's sad to see him down. I mean, it's sad to see anyone down, but especially their underrated running back right there.
He's had a couple big blocks and a couple of the keepers as well. A couple of the read option plays and the inverted veers have broken big because of his play fake. Also want to give a shout out to their center. Of course, we don't have his name on our profile list, but he's had a couple of high snaps, which it looks like they've all been by design. If you've noticed that, they've had a lot of high snaps that have been at the same spot, which has kind of helped set up their options. So, again, this Etowah team was 1-9 last year, a victory over Woodstock. Their biggest rival was their only victory, so a chance to equal their win total of last year here in week 1. It looks like that was the DB coach on the sideline. I had him for government last year, Coach Brown on the sideline. So good to see him back out there for his third season, I believe. Moving over from San Diego.
Yep.
Great teacher he was. So they're going to give this one to Carson Allen here, call it a 45, 46-yard field goal. The lefty, the senior, he's got a great leg. He missed from short earlier, but we'll see if the power does him justice. The hold and the kick, and it is up and short.
Wow.
And Lassiter is alive. 2.5 minutes to go. You still got a timeout, but you got to score quick if you don't want to have to use the onside kick. And again, it'd be really nice if your brother was out there to run that double pass.
I don't think Etowah would see that coming.
You wonder if they found somebody to dial that up with. If not, maybe they'll be working on it in a camp this week.
Maybe. I mean, Danny had some arm for a wide receiver, so if they can find someone like that, I mean, they're looking good for that kind of play. It's always good to see trickery here at the Frank, the Lutzy Field.
And a great opening night action here in the 2023 season. Lassiter with 2:40 to go, going to be starting on their own 20-yard line, which they're confused as of why, because the snap was in a different spot. You see number 2 on the Eagles bantering with the squad. Harrison with the snap under shotgun.
Quick throw to the right.
Caught by Jack Strickland, shares the name with the Etowah quarterback. And he's had a little bit of a quiet night for his liking. But he's able to make the play, but a tackle in bounds is not what Lassiter was looking for in that regard, and it's going to be 2nd and 8 with 2:20 remaining in this ball game. Throw over the middle from Harrison. Looks like it was
Incomplete, I think.
there was a flag into the play. Again, the camera work, people up there working to the west of their ability. Subscribe to the Lassiter News Network. See our graphic on the page. And for a lot of our news broadcasts throughout the week. Rest of our sponsors here, including Snappy Services, who has been a big sponsor to this telecast over the years. Lots of advertisements that they've given to us over the years, and we're proud to continually to be partners with the people over at Snappy. So Harrison is going to be almost intercepted on the first down throw. Luke O'Malley was able to finesse that one away. And it looked like that had an opportunity of being a pick six, but somehow, some way, Lassiter able to...
Right through his hands. I mean, great throw, great speed, velocity was all there, and Luke was able to haul it in and step out of bounds, I'm pretty sure, too.
Yeah. So 2nd and 4, we're wondering where our score bug went. Under 2 minutes to play. There it is.
Perfect timing.
120. It's almost like they can hear us.
Yeah.
128 seconds remaining in this ball game. Harrison rolling up into the pocket, and he's going to have to eat it, taking a hit on his leg. He's already holding at it. You hope that that's not going to egg at him. And Lassiter electing not to use their last of their timeouts. Of course, it's at the high school level. There's no 2-minute warning. And they're going to have to go quickly here, making sure all the offense is set, though. You don't want any more false start or holding penalties.
No. Penalties should not be a factor here.
Which has been a huge issue to the deficit tonight. That's Shaw Mixon out of the backfield. He's going to be dragged down after a gain of about 5 or 6. His legs are all tangled up as well. Harrison walking off the field. It looks like they might have used Lassiter's going to call their last timeout tonight. And we'll take it with them. Under 2 minutes to play. Etowah leading 25-14. Roll the sponsors, Mateo. Ready? Welcome back here, 2nd and 8. Due up. It looks like we missed a false start by Lassiter. So Shaw Mixon's 7-yard reception has been reduced to a 2-yard gain. Rolling out, Bryson Harrison looking over the middle of the field and deflected, incomplete.
Stops the
Etowah
clock.
in there in pursuit. One of the coaches on the sideline, very hyper.
It's Coach Johnson there.
Yeah, that is
Former
Coach.
Falcon.
Really?
Yeah. Long time ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dirty Birds. Surprised the Packer fan would know that. Not the Falcon one here.
I'm a football fan, along with Packer fan.
Love that. I'm thinking about getting NFL Red Zone for the first time this year.
It's a good idea.
Got
That was
MLB
good.
TV on as well. Harrison rolling out here on this 3rd and 9. Screen pass to Gatson, who bobbled it, then was able to hold on to it, and it looks like able to collect it for a first down. Etowah trying to play up a fumble, but of course the ground clearly calls that one, which will stop the chain or stop the clock as they move the chains. Everybody's got to get set here quickly, though.
Yeah.
You got no time to dilly-dally. You're out of timeouts. You're going to have to go for the onside at this point. And you feel like Drew Campbell maybe gives you a good shot at doing so, but you got to score first, and that's what Lassiter's trying to accomplish here. Harrison over the middle of the field, incomplete.
Gosh.
Maybe it was complete. What a laser.
Looks like it. Everybody's running over to where the ball was, and we're getting a shot at Jack Strickland right here.
Of course, also sharing the name with the Etowah quarterback tonight. How odd is that? And they're
That's so crazy. I saw that earlier today.
They're spelled the exact same way.
Yeah.
You know, the CK, which is very funny to me. Harrison.
Might have been a false start.
It looks like it might have either that or it could have been a timeout for Etowah. Reese, do you want to let our viewers know when our next telecast will be?
The next game that we've got going on here at Lassiter is September 16th against, I believe, Dalton it is.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. Back, I can't remember what the theme is, but there's another theme always show up here at the Lutzy Field. It's always great here.
And for those that can't make it, we'll be live here on NFHS and the Lassiter News Network YouTube channel. For all our viewers, Reese and I will be back on the call. So that play looks like was not ran as intended to, given by the expression by Bryson Harrison, showing signs of frustration there. We had a storyline that we're going to get into about Drew Campbell early in this game. It looks like we're going to have to save it for another telecast. That you and I were both at this event that we were going to talk about relating to the Lassiter kicker and, of course, Lassiter state champion for soccer. Running 4 verticals is Lassiter into the end zone, and that is going to be incomplete out of the back side of it. And that's kind of what you got to do at this point in time. It's going to be, looks like 3rd, maybe 4th down. If so, this is the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a field goal could make it an 8-point game, but do you want to play the card of having to get the onside and then a 2-point conversion with under a minute to go? And it's Lassiter put themselves in this spot, and we'll see what they do. Harrison looking over the middle, and it is incomplete. Either that or he was short of the line to gain.
Looks like they got one more down coming here.
So this is 4th and short. Maybe they were just trying to get some yardage on that one, and Harrison maybe saw the opportunity for him to cut up field. It's hard to understand everything that's going on in the second level. We see what you guys see. 4th and short now. Harrison wide open over the middle. Shaw Mixon, and he overthrew him, and that's going to be intercepted by the Etowah defense, and that's probably ball game.
Yeah.
Wow. No words for that one.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it looks like it was the right read, but Harrison either misjudged the route, or
just overthrew him.
That, or Shaw underran it. We'll never know, but that's probably ball game tonight. Yeah. Of course, it shows 3 timeouts on the bug. It is Lassiter is out of timeouts. For those wondering.
Should see a couple runs and a knee here.
You saw the sportsmanship kind of getting out of hand there at the end of that play. Number 50 on Etowah waving by to the Lassiter side of the field. But, I mean, play's been backed up by Jack Strickland. And at the quarterback for Etowah, Joseph Blackwell in the secondary. And they're going to run this one back a couple steps and take a knee.
Some brawls.
And you want to deviate yourself away from any potential suspensions or flag to draw in this game here. Lassiter looks like they're going to drop this opening week matchup and go to 0-1 to start this season of play. An unfortunate second half, specifically the third quarter.
Yeah.
That went on.
Wasn't really our half here in the second half.
Fortunate that both the touchdowns they scored and all the points they had were during our studio move. So
yeah.
We wait. Looks like Etowah is letting the play clock run as low as they can.
It's a hopeful future here.
You see number 21 for Lassiter trying to still get into the backfield and make a play. His teammates trying to pull him backwards. And that is going to be the ball game. It's all a brotherhood at the end of the day. You see people all are immediately shaking hands. But a tough week 1 for the Lassiter Trojans. A 14-3 lead is erased and evaporated here in the second half. Etowah with a 22-0 run in the third quarter and holding him off in the fourth to give them a week 1 victory. So Lassiter, again, 0-1 now on the year. We'll be back September 16th, stream 2, I should say, of the Lassiter football telecast here to see Dalton. So for Blake Newsom and Reese English, and for everybody in the studio, Mateo and Philip Green, our producer, we say so long from the Frank. Lassiter goes home losers this time around by a score of 25-13. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Everybody enjoy your Friday night, and we'll see you soon.